Well, on the mood barometer, I'd say the players, by and large, greeted by the fans in rather positive fashion. The arena about half full. Capacity here at the Boardwalk Convention Hall in Atlantic City is 12,500 for basketball. As the players do their final warm-ups before the opening tip. This is the white team known as Feet, the red team with Mitch Richmond known as the Athletics. So as we close in on the opening tip from the Boardwalk Convention Hall, let's bring in the other member of our broadcast team, our roving reporter, Andrea Joyce. Andrea?
All right, thanks, Steve. You know, some of the players who are not participating in this game tonight bought blocks of tickets and donated them to local youth organizations. So the hall is loaded with lots and lots of kids. And regardless of what you think of this entire situation, know that there are plenty of kids out here who almost can't even believe that they are here. And time now to introduce you to the two coaches for tonight's game, coaching the white team. One of the greatest players of all time, Oscar Robertson, and making his coaching debut for the red team, future Hall of Famer Charles Barkley. And Charles, we have seen you as a player collect your share of technicals. What will the folks expect to see from you, do you think, as a coach? Are you going to tone it down?
No, I'm going to do like a regular NBA coach today. If we win, I'm going to take credit. If we lose, I'm going to blame my players. I'm just here to support the union. I wish I could play in this game, but I just had surgery. But I just want to be a part of this because it's a good night.
The average age of your team is 5.5 years older than the white team. Does that worry you at all?
Not really, because they've had plenty of rest, so they shouldn't be tired.
All right, well, the fact remains, Coach Robertson, that you do have the younger legs. What kind of a strategy do you think? Well, no, your team does. What kind of strategy can you employ then to take advantage of that?
Well, I got my good guards and Penny, and I think that we'll be fine, as long as he's in the game.
What do you think? You know, all these guys have admitted to not being in basketball shape. How do you think that's going to affect the tempo?
You know, as soon as the competition gets picked up a little bit, you'll see whether they're in good shape or not, because they don't want to be embarrassed out here tonight.
Your players are all big fans of yours. Anybody ask you for an autograph yet on your team?
Oh, no, they don't want my autograph for that.
Oh, yeah, they do. All right, guys, good luck tonight, and we'll talk to you later on. Back to you, Steve.
All right, thank you, Andrea. Charles Barkley always has a way of capturing the moment. This obviously a game that is being played under rather irregular circumstances given the lockout situation. Here are comments by some of the players regarding tonight's game.
Without a doubt, I think the intensity level is going to be there because, first of all, we missed the game. And during this time of year, you know, our body clocks have gone off, you know, and you know, we're anxious to play, you know. So I think the competitiveness will definitely come out, and it won't be your regular charity game. You know, it's definitely going to be a competitive, intense type of all-star atmosphere.
You know, the level of competition. These are a lot of the great players in the league, and we're going to come out here, try to put on a show for the fans who show up, and we're going to give it all, you know, it's going to be like a regular game, regular season game. We're going to be playing hard and trying to win.
I think it's like a regular basketball game. You know, you miss playing against the Lakers, the Knicks, Orlando, and you got an opportunity to play against these guys right now. So it's a good thing for me to come out here and get a work and get a run that's going to give me 48 minutes of good playing basketball.
Well, I'll say this, the players do seem genuinely pumped up for this game. Some are very intense. It remains to be seen. And there is Charles Barkley ready to patrol the sidelines for the team in red. The outspoken Barkley selected as one of the league's 50 greatest players. And let's check his starting lineup. In the middle, for Team Athletic, Patrick Ewing playing on a sore foot tomorrow, the one-year anniversary of the day he broke his right wrist. The forwards, Karl Malone, looks to be in excellent shape. Dominique Wilkins last year led Bologna of the Italian League into the finals, only to lose the last game. In the backcourt, Tim Hardaway resurrected his career under Pat Riley, and Reggie Miller, who says the juices are flowing. I want to throw some elbows, do some trash talking. He says he owns the New York, New Jersey area, and he is looking to hoist some bombs. And guiding the white team, you met him just before with Andrea. This is also the Feet team, one of the all-time greats. Hall of Famer Oscar Robertson, the only man in league history to average a triple-double one year. 12-time All-Star, Cincinnati Royals, Milwaukee Bucks. Let's give you the Big O's starting five right now. This is the feet team in white. Alonzo Mourning off arthroscopic surgery on his right knee. Probably would have been coming back to play about now had the season started on time. Vin Baker and Glenn Rice, the forwards. Baker, solid all-around performer. Glenn Rice, maybe the best pure shooter in the game today. The glove, Gary Payton in the backcourt with Penny Hardaway. Outside of Michael Jordan, Payton perhaps the best defensive guard in the league, and Hardaway says he's 100% after an injury-plagued season. Played only 19 games last year with leg and calf injuries. Well, history is being made on the internet tonight, and it all has to do with this event. ShowtimeOnline.com is presenting a live online simulcast of tonight's game, together with all new updated player biographies, interview footage, and warm-up video. ShowtimeOnline.com, also the place to find the link to theglobe.com and the MVP voting area. That web address is ShowtimeOnline.com. Watch the game, read the bios, play the video. Go there now to find out how to vote for tonight's MVP. And right on cue, there's the buzzer. In case you were wondering, this game will be played under league rules. Feet in the white uniforms has been designated the home team. Athletics in red, the visitors. Conventional wisdom says experience usually has the upper hand, Jason Williams, but in a game of this nature, many feel youth will be served, especially with only 8 players per side. What do you think?
Well, Steve, I can't understand that because you can be young and out of shape, too. What you think, Bob?
I think
you know about being old and out of shape.
Well, I'm not that old now. Come on. I think it's going to boil down basically what you said is partly true. I mean, who's going to be in the best shape? With only 8 guys on each team, conditioning is going to definitely play a major role, particularly heading into the fourth quarter and as the game winds down.
Today was his first game. He hadn't practiced one day. They let him
well, I have a feeling, Bob Hill, that throughout this evening we are going to hear the world according to Jason. Without question.
Jason's a worldly guy.
Yes, he is.
He's got his opinions, and that's, it's America. You're allowed to have those. So it's going to be fun. This whole game's going to be fun.
Well, many of you no doubt wondering, where is Michael Jordan? Where it is he did not want to send out a mixed message by playing in this game. He's waiting to reveal whether or not he'll play in the league in the event the lockout ends. Let's listen to Charles Barkley.
Just come get me, man.
Keep it close. Feel it in the air.
Come on, man. Y'all, hey, guys. Play hard. You guys know how to play.
Well, this may be a first. Charles Barkley, yeah,
you guys know how to play.
I was just about to say Charles Barkley at a loss for words, but he sums it all up, doesn't he?
He's no Luke Conasecca.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you he gets a technical foul today. Bob Hill will donate $1,000 to my favorite charity.
Yeah, your pocket.
Well, you know, with so much uncertainty, controversy for those players involved here tonight, as you see the guys coming onto the floor to the applause, this has to be just a giant, albeit temporary relief, just to get out there and play some basketball.
I think there's no doubt about it. I think it's going to be really fun for them, as we said at the top of this game. And I think they're going to get a good run. They're going to do some exciting things. And maybe most important, they're going to find out just how good a shape or not in shape they really are.
Well, the officials you saw from the USBL, and we're just about ready to toss it up. Mel Chettam, Al Mayles, and Kevin James, the 3 refs. Penny Hardaway set to go. Mourning against Ewing, and the red team controlled. The Athletics, spearheaded by Tim Hardaway. First shot of the game. The ball man, Karl Malone delivers.
Caught and shot. That's what they always should do. Catch it, don't hesitate, make a quick decision, shoot the ball if you're open.
And a quick release by Glenn Rice, who is hoisting them from everywhere. In warm-ups, here comes Hardaway, high-stepping it down to Ewing. In and out, rebound Vin Baker. Here's Payton. Oh, pretty pass to Baker. Stops and pops. And Malone yanks it down.
I tell you what, this is a pretty good pace we got going. I don't know how long it's going to last, but they're going up and down.
Fourth quarter could be an endurance test. The jump hook by Dominique Wilkins.
Now, the fourth quarter will be when Patrick and Alonzo catch the ball.
Here's Penny Hardaway off the injury rack year. No look pass down low to Rice, and he's hacked, and it counts.
I think both sides are glad right now that we got a break in the action. I think that Glenn could have just went up and shot that, but he went for the foul just to slow it up so these guys can get a breather. But they seem to be in good shape, Steve.
Yeah, so far so good. We'll see how things transpire as time goes on. Glenn Rice, 9 years. Could see a nifty three-point shooting contest before this night is out between Rice and a fellow named Reggie Miller.
Well, I got Glenn Rice for the MVP. Glenn's just a pure shooter, the best shooter in the league. And I think he's going to win this MVP award tonight if his team wins.
3-2 white team. Malone with a curl down low to Wilkins. Wilkins batted out of bounds by Gary Payton with 6 on the shot clock.
Alonzo and Gary just switched that random pick and roll. Alonzo looked at Gary like, what are you doing? I got to guard Hardaway, and luckily Jimmy didn't take him off the dribble.
Off the open jumper, Hardaway can't connect. Here's Dominique Wilkins. Wilkins gets free and then batted away beautifully by Morning. Wow. Yeah, this is Rice. He pulls up for 3. And Reggie Miller with the rebound.
That might be his second rebound of his career.
Whoa! To the Ewing highlight film.
I grew up watching that. That's my favorite dunk of all time besides Julius, the Dr. J. Irving.
I would think that he got his last shot blocked and maybe he wouldn't want to try that, but he got up a little higher that time. That was terrific effort on his part.
And an easy 2 for Gary Payton. No defense there whatsoever. Hardaway. Uh-oh. Miller open for 3. And it's kept alive by Wilkins. But the look.
Oh, my goodness.
Dominique trying to get the early.
He's trying to get a contract down here.
Morning, though. Here comes Hardaway. Barreling down court. There it is. Beautiful ball fake for the scoop.
Haven't missed a step. Not Timmy.
He is a guy that just absolutely is at his best in the open floor. When you coach against him, you really work hard to keep him out of there if you can.
End-to-end action here at the outset. Can they keep up this pace? Quick turnaround Morning, in and out. Baker keeps it going.
Like Bob said, when the big men start getting the ball in the post, that's when everybody else is tired.
That's right.
Here's Penny Hardaway, readed by Miller. Baker, across the lane, no, Ewing. Tim Hardaway, left hands it over to Karl Malone, chips it underneath, shifted by Penny Hardaway. Here comes Payton.
This could be trouble.
No look to Hardaway, no look. Oh, brother Morning on the finish.
That's 2 guys supposed to have bad knees finishing those plays. One with the block shot and Alonzo Mourning with the power jam. 2
consecutive no-look passes. Tim Hardaway unable to hit. Baker brings it down. Long swing by Penny Hardaway. Payton tied up by Tim Hardaway.
Has there been a foul called yet?
Don't expect too many. Look at these low passes. Doesn't get the low.
You know you're tired when you start shooting and passing everything from your kneecaps.
8-7 in favor of the Red Athletics, coached by Charles Barkley. And it is trained by Morning.
Well, Alonzo Mourning has to play well tonight because he's one of the big guys who put this thing together. You know, he had a big part in putting it together, him and his agent. So I'm sure he wants to make sure that the fans get their money worth tonight because it's going to such a great cause.
It'll fade away by Ewing.
Both centers have caught the ball already in a 7-minute mark in the first quarter.
Now that's incredible.
Knocked out of bounds by Dominique Wilkins.
Well, I asked Patrick this morning, how are you going to get him to throw you the ball in a game like this? He said, don't worry about it. I got it covered.
Well, we've got an official timeout. The white team on top by the score of 9-8. And we are off to a very brisk start here.
Hey, man, when y'all get that ball to Tim, man, he's the best at running a fast break. Just keep it, y'all just got to run the floor.
Well, Nick, you would have special every now and then I get just 4 feet.
Great job of running the break, Tim. Hey, man, nobody out here being no hero. If you need a break, take a break now. That's the only time you can get hurt if you're tired. So if you need a break, take a break. We don't need nobody playing no killer minutes.
I agree with you, coach. Go get that shit, Nick. Yeah.
Anybody need a break now?
Man, that look like old time, dog. Yeah, it looks like old time. Every now and then.
Anybody?
And here, look at the defense.
Timeout help.
Nice block. Penny Hardaway coming through.
Good job, guys.
Anthony Hardaway showing everybody right now that he is not hurt. Good block there. A lot of defense being played in here to surprise a lot of people. You know, a lot of guys got a lot of pride. They're not going to come out here in front of 8,000 or 9,000 people and be showed up. These guys are coming out here. They're playing defense. They're making it difficult for each other. This isn't like the Alonzo Mourning game down in Miami where people just come out ready to get autographs and stuff. You got players going at each other here, and they want to find out where they're at right now with their conditioning, with their game. And a lot of guys have been injured here, Steve and Bob. You know, they want to see how their limbs are holding up right now to this kind of pressure and this kind of caliber.
Well, thus far, the intensity level has been high. I can't say the same for the shooting percentages, but it is 9-8.
The ball's going to hit front rim for a while. I mean, their timing's just not there, but they're really trying. The effort, I think, is there, and as the game progresses, I think you'll see them shoot the ball better.
You heard Charles Barkley say to his team, "Don't be a hero. We haven't seen any substitutes as of yet."
And here goes Charles Barkley, who told Bob Hill before the game. He says, Bob actually is going to go into coaching. He says, "No, I'm too smart for that." Oh, another block.
Yes. Ewing got a hand on it. Here's Tim Hardaway. Back to Ewing. And that one is rejected.
That was a finger roll.
Here's Miller for three. He's missed his first two from downtown.
I tell you what, these guys are really going at each other. You know, I thought they'd be letting those go. You know, that's Patrick Ewing, one of the top 50 best players in the nation, and then they sent it right back to him. And me playing in New Jersey and him playing in New York, I have no problem with seeing it get sent back to him.
15 on the shot clock. Off the inbounds, the steal by Miller. Here's Tim Hardaway, can't keep it alive, and bodies are flying everywhere. Alonzo Mourning goes to the deck. Baker.
No transition defense, so they need a timeout. What do you think?
Yeah, I tell you what, Bob. Alonzo Mourning fell down, rolled over about 5 times before he got back up. You know, they might need a timeout to get a little bit of rest, but these guys seem like they're playing pretty hard. Reggie Miller can't connect nowhere here tonight.
Miller again missing from three. Here's Ben Baker bringing it down on the wing to Rice. Rice for three. And he rattles that one down.
Now that guy's not going to miss hardly any of them, you know. Him and Chris Muller and Miller might be the two best shooters in the league right now.
All right, let me see.
The pump fake by Mourning. And it is broken up. Miller got a hand on it to Malone. Here comes Tim Hardaway now. Hardaway gets the step on Payton, but a reach and a rare whistle.
Well, I tell you what, Steve, you know what's hard when you play against somebody every day. Alonzo Mourning and Patrick Ewing are going against each other all day long down in Georgetown in the summertime, and they know all each other's moves. They know when they're tied. They know which way you're going to turn. So it's a lot difficult for those two guys to go against each other and make a spectacular play.
Well, that was number one on Gary Payton, the white team, out to a 9-0 run. And they lead at 14-8. White team coached by Oscar Robertson. Here's the red team with Charles Barkley.
We made some substitutions. I don't want nobody out there to get tired or hurt. You guys got too much at stake, man.
Ben Baker looking like he went about 10 rounds with Junior Jones or somebody.
Well, Bob Hill has the telestrator by his side.
You know, one of the things that always is a key ingredient to a good fast break is a point guard throwing the ball ahead, having that idea to get the easy basket. And here we're going to see Gary Payton take it on 2 or 3 dribbles. He sees a wide open teammate, gets it ahead right away for an easy basket. It's one of the things that makes him what he is. He's always seeing the floor. His teams always run very hard. It's a very poor job on the part of the red team. They certainly didn't get back on defense, but Payton beats defenses a lot.
Well, he's been doing that, and that's why he's one of the best point guards, and everybody wants to play with Gary Payton, not only because he can distribute the ball, but his defensive presence. You know, he makes it easy on the big man. When he stops guards from penetrating, then the big men don't get into foul trouble, and they get a chance to play a little more, and it helps your team right out.
Perennial all-defensive team who is so durable as well. He's missed only 2 games in 8 years.
Like, bend down. Bend down. I'm on now. Say it again. We'll just switch it up. Say it again. I'm about to slow this shit down.
Thank God this is Showtime.
Well, it is cable. Some colorful language in the red area there. Red missing, as you saw, their last 7 shots, so they're looking to get their act together.
Well, that's the guy I thought would want to play a quicker pace. Throughout this morning at the walkthrough, he worked his tail off. He and Mitch Richmond were here for 30 extra minutes playing one-on-one. He broke a great sweat. That was his partner.
Well, we've got some substitutions as Mitch Richmond connects. Coming over from Sacramento to Washington this past May. Let's see who's into the ball game. Shawn Kemp for the red team. Dan Marley for the red team. So Tom Gugliotta for the white team. Allen Houston for the white team.
Tom Gugliotta, right out of New York, one of my favorite all-time players. You know, I hate going up against this guy, but I feel great when I play against him because he is such a competitive, versatile forward. Bob, I think he's one of the most versatile forwards in the game today.
And I think also he's just gotten better since he came to the league. I thought when he was early in his career, he was outstanding. He's been traded a couple times, and it's been hard to understand. I think he's really got himself established at this point.
The foul on Kemp. Yeah, originally a number 6 pick by Washington, traded with 3 first-round picks to Golden State for Chris Webber, then dealt to Minnesota for Daniel Marshall, who has blossomed out at Golden State. 15-10 for the white team. The pull-up by Marley.
Wow, look at Dan, looking good. There goes a guy who they said his career was over, and he comes back and playing a game like this to show everybody he's healthy and hit a couple of buckets.
Injury riddled the last 2 years, and just like that, the red team within 3. Morning bangs it off the rim. Kemp keeps it alive, out of bounds, off Webber.
Alonzo begging Patrick to come out. He wouldn't come. Patrick won that duo.
So the substitutions giving the red team some new life. Quick turnaround by Kemp. Rebound Gugliotta. Gugliotta, one of those guys you want on your team. Here's Penny Hardaway now. No look to Alonzo.
Wow, that's just brute strength right there. He just threw Patrick Ewing out of the way and dunked it right on him.
We're seeing a lot of good passing, though. It was a good pass by Penny. The play before, Tim had a great pass.
As you say that, Ewing coughs it up.
Right.
And here is Penny Hardaway. Spin move, crowd loves it. Cross court, Allen Houston with the pure touch, in and out.
Here goes another low.
And Morning, who said this would be an intense affair, one of the hardest working players in basketball.
I tell you what, I missed this action. This is great. You know, it's killing me to sit over here on the side, but wow. These guys are playing.
Number 2 on Kemp. Alonzo Mourning shot 67% from the line last year. Just a fierce competitor.
Bob, what you think makes a bad free throw shooter like myself?
You know, you've got no confidence, and you don't work on it. I've been at practice.
Right.
You don't work on it.
Well, I tell you what, that's the truth. I will go with you. Don't work on it enough times. But with your buddy over there, John Calipari, keeping me there for 6 hours. He forgot I'm union. I'm trying to get out of there.
There's no reason why you shouldn't be a good free throw shooter. It's a one-piece shot. If you gain some confidence, that's all you got to do is get some confidence, get some rhythm, get a ritual, do the same thing every time. You'll make a high percentage.
Bob, this is free advice. You should charge Jason for this.
Believe me, he will.
You'll get a bill in about a week.
That's right.
A bill from Bob. 17-12 in favor of the white team. Is Gugliotta set to inbound. Alonzo Mourning is going to get a breather. And it looks like an official timeout, and the players don't mind that.
I tell you what, nothing for nothing. These guys out here, they're playing hard. You know, I've been in games right now where with this much time left in the first quarter, you got about 40 points by each team. These guys are playing defense. This is an NBA game. You know, guys are playing hard.
You know, those spin down kicks just always go over the top. Make them loud the ball up.
Take a look at some of this
kicks and the back picks.
Terrific pass work, particularly Penny Hardaway.
Wow. Penny's always been a great passer. When he was a point guard early in his career, he showed that ability. They've moved him to the 2-guard some. He still initiates a lot of plays from that position, but has a real sense of where his teammates are on the floor and has always been a very willing passer. And at 6'7", creates a lot of problems in that regard for his opponents.
Got 3 assists. He sees the floor just about as well as anybody. Sometimes accused of being a little bit on the selfish side, but an excellent passer.
I don't think selfish is a way to describe him. I really don't. I think Penny's one of those guys that sometimes has a hard time figuring out how to blend his talent with some other players on the floor, which is really an adjustment young players have to make.
Well, I tell you what, Oscar Robinson, we haven't gotten into his huddle. We're hearing him now.
Here's what the players think about playing for the Big O, Jason.
I think it's great to be coached by a guy who was as talented as he was and is a Hall of Famer, one of the 50 best players that ever played the game. And, you know, I'm just going to try to get some tips from him tonight.
Great. I'm excited to meet him. He's obviously one of the greatest players to ever pick up a ball, and I don't know him personally, but I've heard a lot of great things about him, and I think it should be fun. And hopefully he can teach us a few tricks, you know, get us out there to win, and something we can use throughout our career.
First, he has to give me his autograph, and then after that, I mean, I hope I'm just not a fan and just in awe of him and not paying attention to the guys on the other team, because I'm a big Oscar Robertson fan, so it'll be a little intimidating, actually.
It'll be a lot of fun. I mean, playing for the Big O will be great because, you know, having a legend on the sideline, you're going to be able to look over and think about the things he did. It'll be a lot of fun. I've met him once in Milwaukee, so it'll be fun to have him next to me on the bench tonight.
And Vin Baker now, of course, with Seattle as the Big O takes a seat.
Well, it's great to see these guys looking up to somebody. You know, that's the problem we have in the league and in the sports in the whole today is that you got young guys who come in and get big sneaker deals and stuff, and they don't really respect their elders, the guys who made the league and paved the way for them. So it's great for these guys who have been in the league only 4 or 5, probably average those years out, and to come in here and respect a guy like Oscar Robertson.
How many of these guys on the floor do you think can average a triple-double in a season?
Michael Jordan's not his.
Here's Tom Gugliotta posting up. Nifty bounce pass to Payton, knocked away by Kemp, and they're saying goaltending.
I tell you what, that looked like it was on the way up to me. Looked like he just threw it up so high. You know how high Shawn Kemp jumps.
You know there's not going to be a lot of illegal defenses, or are there going to be a lot of goaltends called?
Look at the ball's still going up to me. Oh, that's a bad call. They missed that one.
No question.
This is the largest lead for the white team, 20-12.
I tell you what, Karl Malone looks great. He don't never get out of shape, do he?
But this morning when he walked in the gym, I mean, everybody turned and looked. I mean, he had a presence, so there's no question. He is working hard.
He is.
I think they turned to look to see if he has some more hair on his head.
Well, he didn't have your typical off season. He was wrestling Dennis Rodman, talk radio. Here's Vin Baker. He dribbles into heavy traffic, picks up the loose pieces.
Yeah, Karl has come out of his shell a little bit up in Utah. You know, he's got his own talk radio show up in Utah now, I think it is, and he's wrestling and a whole lot of other things, you know. It's good to see Karl. Karl does have a good personality, and he should share it with us.
Oh, nice pass by Malone. Shawn Kemp.
Ooh, look at that rebound.
He goes right back up for it. Shawn Kemp, who broke in at 19 when they called him the man-child. Loves that wide-open game. Tremendous inside.
I've never seen Karl Malone make a pass like that before. I mean, that was unbelievable. Off the dribble, down for a layup.
When you get older, you get wiser. You should know that, right, Bob?
Here's Weber.
Man, we can't slip the
Chris Weber, former #1 pick, yet 3 teams in 5 years. Point lead.
I tell you what, I speak to John Nash, our general manager, about Chris Weber, and he tell you all the time, if Chris Weber is the best player he ever had an opportunity to manage. You know, Chris Weber has some kind of talent. You know, he gets a rap of not playing hard every night, but I tell you what, every night I play against Chris Weber, he does come to play.
Pretty move by Allen Houston. There's the curl from Marley to Richmond for 3.
You know, maybe the reason he comes to play against you all the time is he knows he's going to have success.
Bob Hill trying to get his back dirty on Showtime.
Wow. Not mixing words. 26-14, the white team.
I had that one coming. He sends a limo to my house. He wants to make sure I don't get hurt on the way to the game.
Dan Marley from the boardwalk. That was way deep.
That's what he's known for, making those long threes.
Now Allen Houston has it swiped away by Malone, recovered by Baker into Gugliotta. Pretty pass by Vin Baker.
Light-skinned people can jump. My man, Tom Goog.
Richmond with a stutter step back to Miller. Trying to get the hot hand from downtown. Turn around, got the foul, doesn't get the roll.
You know, one thing that's stuck out in this game so far is their willingness to pass. There's been a lot of extra passes and very unselfish passes.
That's 2 on Payton.
There's Karl Malone's pass.
Yep.
Off the dribble, just like his teammate Stockton.
And Shawn Kemp goes back up strong and makes sure he makes it. Now, if this was a charity game, he would have missed that and smiled off and ran down. But this is not an ordinary charity game.
Let's not get carried away. He got that second shot over Allen Houston. It looked like it was over one of the front line guys.
Mitch Richmond, perhaps the most underrated player in the NBA, but not by his peers. Michael Jordan considers him one of the top 3 players in the league.
I agree with you, and Mitch is a tough guy. He comes to work every day. I know he couldn't get out of Sacramento fast enough. I just wish they would have traded him back to a West Coast team.
Yeah,
I'm sure Kerry Kittles and Kendall Gill want to see Mitch Richmond 4 or 5 times a year.
Yeah, fade away. Baker gets the roll. 5 years out of the University of Hartford. 30-19, the white team opening things up. Nice pass inside by, guess who? Karl Malone.
Well, we've seen that before. That's right to John Stockton. That's a play they've been doing for the last 12 years. That's why he's a Hall of Famer.
And Richmond, the beneficiary. And there's a 3 by Mr. Weber. Chris Weber, so charismatic, usually very dangerous around the basket, sometimes questionable decisions from the outside. That time he nailed it. Fell out of his hands. Got it back for Kemp, though.
He dropped the mail sack. I tell you what, and Bob would tell you also, you can hear all the talking that's going on out here. So when you're talking, you know you're playing defense. You got guys switching and rotating. So these guys are really going at each other out here tonight.
Time running down. 5 seconds remaining in the first.
I got it.
That's another guy 2 or 3 men don't like to see. Allen Houston.
Yeah. Here's Miller. Gugliotta hits the deck. Marley.
Oh, man. Now, that was a great quarter. Great quarter of basketball right there.
And 35 points scored is excellent. It really is.
Under these conditions, no doubt. So the home team here, the white team, known as Feet, in charge by the count of 35-23 over Charles Barkley's red team, known as the Athletics. Let's take a look at some of the nice passing here earlier on by the red team.
Let's take a look at Reggie Miller now. He's just going to feed the post down to Karl Malone. Karl's very comfortable, as most of us know down here. But on the weak side, Googs is going to turn his head. He's going to get beat back door, and Malone makes a great pass for a layup. This is vintage Karl Malone up. Making the passes off the dribble earlier is a little different, but there it is. Boom. They switch. They're late on the switch. They get the layup. Easy basket.
Some things you just can't forget. Karl Malone been doing that for a long time.
The passing, though, has been a definite highlight of the first quarter. And to score 35 points in the first quarter, and actually even 23, this number of points scored is pretty good under the circumstances.
Everybody for the white team has contributed, with the exception of Penny Hardaway on the score sheet.
And we talk about passing, and they're not just passing the ball and standing still. There's a difference in passing. If you're passing the ball and you're standing still, then guys are out of shape and they're not moving. But guys are cutting to the basket, and you get good passes, but guys don't even have to dribble the ball. There's an assist, and they're just scoring it right back up. So we're watching some pretty good basketball right now. What you think, Bob?
I think it's great because the coaches obviously haven't put any offenses in or any defenses. They're just playing basketball.
All right, fellas, let's get it over to Andrea Joyce. Andrea?
Good rebound.
All right, I'm with New York Times reporter Mike Wise, who has covered the lockout extensively since it began. You know, when you're out on the boardwalk here in Atlantic City and you talk to people on the boardwalk, a lot of them refer to this as the strike. This is not a strike.
No, it is a lockout imposed by the owners on July 1 after the last collective bargaining agreement expired. People get that confused a lot, but yeah, that's what it is. It's a lockout.
You talk to these guys every day. What do you see right now, in as simple terms as you can possibly put it, the biggest stumbling blocks to reaching an agreement at this point?
I mean, it's almost like a moving target, Andrea, because one day it's one issue, the next day it's another issue. But I think from what I gather now when you talk to both sides, the maximum salary is a huge issue, how they're going to deal with these exorbitant deals that go into the $100 millions. And also the total revenue distribution. You know, the percentages are really off on both sides right now, and that looks. I mean, there's tons of economic issues, but those seem to be two of the key ones.
From the tone of the two sides, your opinion, are they going to be able to salvage the season?
Well, I've been wrong everything I've done interview-wise. My prognostication skills have been off, but I really see them trying to do something. I don't know if they will by the first week of January, and I don't think if they don't do anything then, I think you're in big trouble.
All right, thanks, Mike. Back to you, Steve.
All right, Andrea, thank you very much. The white team off to a blazing start from the floor, shooting 56%. The red team at 36. Here's a steal by the red team. Dominique Wilkins, look out. The trailer. Morning and a foul.
How about Dominique Wilkins Low post defense. Active. Trying to steal.
I think Dominique Wilkins will be coming back into the NBA this year. You know, and he's showing everybody that he can still be the old Dominique of new. Well, you know, I tell you what, though, Steve, I'm looking at Mike Wise, so let's go back to this video replay. Look at this. Now, he must have been 2 feet over the rim right now when Alonzo Mourning went and got that shot.
Well, there's been some good blocks, some great passes. They're trying to get up and down the floor. I think the effort up to this point's been terrific.
Mike Wise, you know, is a good guy. He was our beat reporter with New Jersey, and somebody needs to lock out his hairstylist. Good gracious.
Here's Rice over to Mourning.
See Karl Malone after the game.
Sort of a theme here, Jason. Mourning has 9.
Well, he's been killing me for years. I had to get him back on national television.
You got a long way to go, Jason.
He's a good guy, though.
Tim Hardaway waits for his backcourt mate, Mitch Richmond. Richmond fires it up over Baker.
I tell you what, Mitch is playing well. You know, Glenn Rice been a little quiet, you know, just going through the motions right now. You know, I think Glenn Rice is the best shooter on the court, and I just can't wait for him to get hot because he's the one guy who can really light up these fans right now.
And Gary Payton not expecting that pass back by Penny Hardaway, who says, my fault.
You know, that was the guy you just said was had labeled as selfish. He had an open shot, he threw it right back to Gary Payton.
Mitch Richmond out. Don't believe everything I said, Jason. Wow. Hardaway from about 35 feet.
He shot that one from Donald Trump's box.
Now, about 10 years ago, Dominique would have got that as it came off the rim.
That's right.
That play right there. That's what he was known for, his tip dunks. Well, still going for him.
He's evolved from the greatest acrobatic sideshow to one of the premier offensive players in league history.
What Charles Barkley tells me, the first thing to go is your legs in this game. You know, I have a few years before that starts happening to me. My game been left, but you know, my legs are still with me, thank God. But they said once your legs go, you start becoming a better basketball player, and as an athlete. You know, your athletic ability starts leaving you, and you start learning how to hit the little 15-foot jump shot, how to make the little jump hook. Instead of just trying to jump over people, you become a smart basketball player.
Beautiful play by Alonzo Mourning, creating this fast break for Gary Payton.
Another good pass by Penny. They reacted and got out another easy basket. The red team's trying to respond by shooting threes, and it's not working.
Reggie Miller continues to have his difficulty, 0 for 4 from three-point range.
Bob, you're right. You know, Dominique Wilkins is going to the offensive glass hard. He will catch a putback back in a few minutes. He's going for every offensive rebound out there today.
The guy just absolutely loves to play basketball. He'll play as long as he can. He's one of those guys. He was born to play.
You had him where? In San Antonio for a brief spell. There's a turnaround by Alonzo Mourning, who buries it.
Well, there you go with Alonzo. He just put that in his game in the last 2 years. When Alonzo first came in the league, all Alonzo wanted to do was lift weights and come down and try to dunk on you every time. Now, he's getting a little older. He's understanding that guys are just as strong as he is, and he's putting some other things into his game right now. And a turnaround jumper, jump hooks, defense.
There it is. Shawn Kemp drawing the foul. Mourning leads the way with 11 points, and that's his second personal.
Players that figure out that going to the offensive board creates easy baskets.
Why, thank you.
Figured that out a long time ago. But, you know, you ready? Some of them get the ball back in the basket when they get it.
And some of them can shoot it back. I got to throw it back out to Sam Cassell. Oh, you won't get that twice. You won't get the ball back twice a game.
Shawn Kemp able to hit both, and it's 41-28 for the White.
You're asking a whole lot for $2.
Here's Penny Hardaway looking for the step. Miller won't give it to him, and Shawn Kemp smothers the rebound. Here's Miller wide open. Gets it down to Dominique Wilkins.
Dominique hit the floor hard.
He's looking at the official going, you got to be kidding. Glenn Rice trying to get on leash.
I tell you, this morning he didn't miss any. I mean, he just made them all. And tonight he hasn't bought one, but you don't want to count him out. When he gets his rhythm, he'll start making all of them.
He's the one guy in the league who can miss 12 or 13 in a row and come back and hit another 12 or 13 in a row.
And so is the guy that just shot. Very capable three-point shooter, and so is he.
That has to be money.
Reggie Miller finally connects, shakes his head. He says it's about time.
I think Reggie looked like he put on a pound or two.
He got it back to 10 finally. You know, Reggie's a competitor. He keeps looking at the score, and he's gonna want to get this team back in the game.
If Reggie gets any skinnier, we're gonna have to fax him back to Indiana.
Oh man, that is such old material from Jason. But it still works.
We got a game going on here now.
All right, here's Barney. Peyton, they've got the numbers, and Shawn Kemp to the rescue. Long pass down to Hardaway, wide open, gives it off unselfishly. Here's Dominique Wilkins, 1-on-2, continues to go with it.
Wow. You know, there was no way he was going to pass that ball. You know that.
Wow, no question.
That was terrific.
I tell you what, Bob, he's in pretty good shape. That takes a lot of energy to pivot 3 or 4 times, then go back up with a jump hook like that.
11+ years with Atlanta. Atlanta's leading all-time scorer, over 23,000 points, and he's making a mark here tonight.
I tell you what, the people in Atlanta love Dominique Wilkins. You know, I remember when they traded him, we used to go down there, and the whole town was just mad at him. You know, they love this guy down in Atlanta.
Well, in his prime, one of the greatest dunkers in the league. Let's check out Neek.
Look at this. He pivots once, twice,
he walks
3 times, he walks 4, and a jump hook that rolls in. That takes a lot of energy. And then ready to go back on defense.
Well, actually, he took a step to the basket to maybe tip in the miss, and then got back on defense. But he did walk, but that's the kind of effort he brings. I mean, he just loves to play basketball, and I think the thing that defines him, as everyone knows, he's going to shoot, and he's going to score.
Is he a free agent this year, Bob?
Yes.
You know, he's 8th on the all-time list. If he plays this year, if there is a year, he could pass Oscar, Elvin Hayes, and Moses Malone for 5th. There's a look at the game summary. Morning pacing the way with 11 points. Richmond has 8. The shooting continues to go well for Oscar Robertson's White Feet team, 60%. Peyton has 7 assists, by the way.
That's significant, that shooting percentage.
Alonzo Mourning has stolen the show to this point.
You know, as Jason said, he needs to play well. I mean, this game was, he's put a lot of effort into this game. Yeah. But he has. That's the most important thing. And he looks to be in good shape, very serious about this game, and up to this point certainly has been very productive.
Zozo, as we call him in the league. You don't want to make this man angry.
11 points on 5 for 8 shooting, 5 rebounds.
You know, I coached against Alonzo in his first professional game. And he fouled out, I think, in the beginning of the 3rd quarter. I mean, he's like a bull in a china shop. He wanted to get every rebound, block every shot. He played so hard, so physical, and he just didn't understand when he fouled. You know, it was kind of sad, but his effort's always been like that.
As effective as he can be, do you still think he's looking to reach his full potential?
I think he can get better offensively. Yeah, I really do. I think he's made great strides.
And there he is, showing it in.
And looking over at Charles Barkley and letting him know he can hit that shot all day. I know what Charlie's telling him, you're not that good. That's what he tells me every day.
Hardaway rims it. Are we going to start with the trash talking now? Here we go.
I think here we go. That's right.
Here's one of the masters, Gary Payton. The post up by Hardaway. Out to Mourning straight away.
He's making you look like a genius, Bob. And I know you've been coaching when you used to have to take the dinosaurs to the game instead of the bus. I know you know what you're talking about.
Patrick Ewing back in there. Long cross court to Hardaway. Whoa! The look away to Malone. He bangs it off the back iron. Fast break for the white team. No look. Passes all around. Rice has it blocked for the foul.
Wow. Lots of great passes.
Wow, Zoe is just coming out here to play all day long. He's been going up, and that's about the 2nd or 3rd dunk he blocked here tonight. I like to see how many block shots we have in the game tonight as a total of both teams.
Well, our stat man, Dave Freed, will total them up.
Wow, Alonzo Mourning is playing both ends of the court tonight. Look at this. Wow, here comes Karl Malone, and you don't get in Karl Malone's way, especially not in a benefit game. You know, and Alonzo Mourning goes up there and just rejects it. The zone.
It looked to me like he just adjusted it. Karl threw it off the back of the rim, but his effort was great, and he was up around the ball. He's playing to win. There's little doubt about that.
Rice, a career 84% foul shooter, hits them both. The white team has 4 blocks, the red 1.
Well, they're playing defense out here today. This is a good game. I'm excited about it. I'm glad to see it going this way.
16-point lead for the younger white team, largest lead.
Now, those are two buddies going at it like that. You'd think Patrick Ewing didn't have a lot of baskets. You'd think Alonzo Mourning to give him one, but this is not that kind of game.
Well, in that matchup, we highlighted at the outset, Mourning with 15, Ewing,
look at this,
with 0.
Patrick Ewing backing him up, and just don't have no legs to finish the shot at the end. Just Alonzo Mourning just leaning on him. Alonzo Mourning told him, "You're going to play with me today, you better bring your lunch, big fella."
And the red team turns it over. Ball goes out of bounds. 6:52 and counting in the first half. Gary Payton in deliberate fashion. That's something I haven't said. We had quite a pace here.
Hey!
Throws it from 3.
There goes my MVP today.
Wow. I'll tell you what, this red team needs they need a timeout, or Charles needs to do something. He's just sitting over there. Look at him.
Charles thinking about where he's going after the game and how much money he's going to lose on the blackjack table.
Well, another big run here for the white team.
I think maybe he should consider playing.
He should go in there and change. That'll get the crowd going again. Come out at halftime.
He may have that uniform underneath the suit. Chris Webber.
And you know what they said? Well, I was talking about before. Somebody told me that Charles Barkley was put on a lot of weight, that he was Charles Barkley. Not Charles Barkley, but Charles Barkley.
I told you that he looked good.
Man, I looked at him today. I went over and gave him a hug and checked him out, and he looks great. Wow. Good move. Ooh, but
These young guys in the white uniforms are starting to put more pressure on the red. Red's going to have to respond. There's a little help right there.
Tim Hardaway pulls up from 3.
You know, it's about time. He's a very capable, and that's his shot. I mean, that's why he's so difficult to play in the open floor, because he makes those threes.
Here's Gary Payton, and he nails it. So we just go end to end with successful outside shots. They are gunning it. Spin move by Hardaway, nearly lost control. Retrieved by Marley. Hardaway checks the line for 3.
Good rebound.
Yeah, Webber with possession on Malone. Nifty pass. Here's Gary Payton now. Allen Houston, who has the smooth touch, up and down, double dribble.
That's a new rule they put in over the summer, Allen.
Did you hear Charles Barkley just told him that's a new rule that they put in? You can't double dribble, Allen Houston.
Here's a great example here. Tim Hardaway. That's what makes him so tough. He pulls up usually from the top, or if the basket is 12 o'clock, right over around 4 on the three-point line. The guy's just deadly from there.
The white team just running away with this. Richmond up the ladder. Wow. Stolen by Barney.
To the mailman.
And here's Karl Malone. Little run here by the red team.
Back to 14.
That's right.
All they got to do is piece together some defense, and you know they'll get themselves back in the game.
4:50 left in the half.
And the big O letting them play, not looking at them, not concerned at all.
Oh, he's starting to coach.
Yeah, he's starting to coach over there. Now I see him.
Gary Payton right on the three-point line. Here comes Tim Hardaway, long lead to Malone.
Whoa! How many times have we seen that, Bob?
Well, Karl Malone's very capable running the floor. It's a great pass, getting it ahead. What's that, a 6-8-0 run? 7-0 run, so, you know, they're creeping back in the game.
Sounds strange not to say Stockton to Malone.
I tell you what, that's what I hate the worst about playing against Karl Malone is after you do a good play, you have no time to celebrate. No end zone dancing. You got to get back because the mailman's about to deliver on the next end.
You shouldn't be celebrating anyway. That's not part of the game. You got to get back on defense. That's your job.
Well, hey, when I get a chance to score, I got to celebrate. I'm like the refrigerator.
Richmond for 3.
They only come twice in my career. The fridge. Wow. Here you see the best athletes in the world, and they're all unemployed.
Quick release for 3 by Hardaway.
Here we go, heating up now. That last pass that Gary Payton threw for that layup was phenomenal.
See, the last thing you should do to Tim Hardaway is antagonize him.
That's right. We got a ball game here.
Gary Payton.
This is trouble.
He finds Baker. Baker keeps it going.
He's about to have a rim shaker for Ben Baker.
Gugliotta off the steal. Here comes Payton. He's got Baker on the wing. Shovels it over to Ben. No look to Payton.
I
I think it's coincidental that they kind of play off of one another. They're looking out for one another all the time.
And Gugliotta's starting to pick his game up right now.
We may have a record here tonight for no-look passes.
Look at this. Gary Payton with the dunk. Now he's going to lay it in. Not Gary.
That's why they call him the glove.
The glove.
And offensively, he's got 12.
64 points, and there's a lot of time left. These guys are really getting up and down the floor.
Timeout on the floor.
And you go Allen Houston, giving it into Gary Payton. Gives it to Vin Baker, but Patrick Ewing getting over there, playing the Matador defense and gets lucky and knocks the ball out of Vin Baker's hands, but he recovers and puts it back in for the easy two.
Because they're not really going to call any illegal defenses. It's going to be a lot easier as this game progresses to play.
Wow.
Mason on hand.
There goes my fellow New Yorker, Anthony Mason. Wow, look at that coach.
Well, we know what he's doing during the lockout. Woo! Shopping.
Anthony Mason, one of the greatest players to come out of New York City. Never.
You give me a cup of water, put some ice in it.
Oh, my goodness. I've lost the words for that jacket. That's a nice jacket.
Well, we heard what the players said about playing for Oscar Robertson. Here's what they had to say about playing for Charles Barkley. Let's take a listen.
Knowing Charles, he's not going to stretch defense too much. He's probably going to tell every big guy to get it, shoot it first, and then think about passing it second. And defensive, he's not going to be a whiz kid on that. It'll be interesting, though, because he could either be laid back or he'll take it kind of seriously.
Who? Charles is the coach. I mean, I'm probably going to get about 30 shots today then. No. Oh, Charles is a good guy. He's a good friend. And, you know, like I said, this is all about fun. We're going to enjoy ourselves. I know he's going to be a clown, too.
Hey man, the
Charles
Barkley. Just play a little bit better. Man. You got the three blind mouses over there doing the game. Don't give them anything to talk about.
Well, he got no commissioner to find him tomorrow morning.
No sense anyway, so don't give him anything to talk about.
So he know I'm talking about him over there. I tell you what, I played the first 2 years of my career with Charles Barkley, and we went out every night. I think my liver's about the size of a dime right now. The best thing I ever did was get away from Charlie. I'm just joking. Charlie helped me a whole lot in my game. He told me, Bob, he said, son, get out the weight room. You have to learn to run the floor. The NBA is about running, not about wrestling with people.
When he was a young player, really young, he really had the talent to take over games, and a lot of nights he did.
All right, here's Patrick Ewing. Now Chris Webber. Oh, Hardaway back.
Wow, look at that. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Somebody get engineering.
Dominique.
Oh, Dominique Wilkins. You better get engineering up here. Alonzo Mourning might have broke the floor. He took a, oh my goodness, we like to see that again. He just went down straight with his dome right into the floor.
Staying on the floor, though, I think he's okay. He hit awfully hard.
Well, he put this thing together. He has to stay on the floor.
Ewing cannot hit. Tom Gugliotta trying to wrestle his way out of trouble. Flings it over the shoulder grab by Hardaway, and it's off the backboard out of bounds. So things getting on the sloppy side now.
What's happening, Dominique?
Dominique coming by, pointing his finger at Jason Williams.
There he going over the back of Chris Webber, trying to dump one back in. Chris Webber with the open three, looking for Dominique, but Dominique is way down court. Got to connect on that one, big fella.
Now here's Tim Hardaway. He's got Dominique down on his right. Finds Wilkins. Way out.
No, the basket was still shaking from his last dunk. Don't blame that one on him, Steve.
I see. Here's Webber. Oh, one step too many, but not called. Here's Tom Gugliotta to keep it alive. High-working shot. It just won't fall.
Somebody needs to get control of the pace of this thing and get a good shot here.
Yeah, they definitely need to slow it down. Right now, it's a little helter-skelter. Guys are going for themselves.
A rainmaker.
In the first quarter, everybody was passing to each other. I think everybody's looking to get the crowd into it by themselves.
Minute to go in the half. Hardaway unable to hit. Hardaway again with the reverse.
Tim Hardaway never stops working, does he?
The shot he took a second ago is not what I had in mind. Get it settled down a little bit, but they finally got a basket, which is at this point real important.
And the hack by Patrick Ewing.
Bob, do you get the idea that these guys are starting to go a little one-on-one right now, trying to get the crowd into it with that one spectacular play instead of going back to where the crowd was liking it in the first quarter where they were passing and distributing the ball?
Well, they're fatigued. If you look at every one of them, they got their hands on their knees, and I think when you get that tired, it's better to go the other way and make each other better like it always is anyway, instead of trying to go one-on-one. So
you mean they're not trying to make their shorts longer?
They're long enough.
Tom Gugliotta, who missed half the season last year, surgery for bone spurs in the right ankle, made his all-star debut back in '97 in Cleveland.
What would he be doing when this thing is over now, Bob? Would he be going back to Minnesota? And you hear anything on that?
No, I haven't heard a thing about that. I think where he'll be going is take a day off and keep working to get himself in shape. So if there is a season, he'll be able to get into it right away and get off to a good start. That'd be my guess.
He can come to New Jersey if he likes.
Time running out of the first half. Allen Houston. There's about a 3-second differential on the shot clock. Houston played closely by Miller. Gets the step by Miller. Stepped out.
You know what? These guys are clogging up the middle, too. We haven't heard illegal defense yet. So that's why you haven't seen them spectacular dunks on each other. Because these guys are coming up right now, and they're clogging up the middle. Guys can't really get that one step that they need to elevate and dunk on somebody. But, you know, you got officials here, not NBA officials. So, you know, we got to give them a break. But they are doing a good job tonight. And I don't think anybody in this building wants to hear that call, illegal defense.
No, they don't. Absolutely.
Well, that buzzer is sweet music to most of these players right here as they will go into the locker room for a respite.
I definitely want. I hope we get to get in the locker room and hear what Charles Barkley, Vince Lombardi's speech will sound like. Lobotomy. That's what it is.
Oh, man. Well, the first half of tonight's benefit game is in the books. The score at the midway point is Charles Barkley signs autographs en route to the locker room. It is the white team 66, the red team 51. So thus far, youth is being served here. The feet team leading the athletic team. Oscar Robertson's team out in front of Sir Charles Barkley's club.
Let's talk about where we think this thing is. I mean, overall, I think they've done a pretty good job considering the fact that there's no way that their timing should be there. I mean, it's been sloppy at times, but certainly they've made an effort to, at times, play defense. They've thrown some terrific passes, and certain guys certainly have shot the ball well. So the game, most of the time, professional games go in peaks and valleys. This one certainly has, but they've been able to maintain a higher level of efficiency, certainly at times, than I thought.
Ending down at the Boardwalk Convention Hall in Atlantic City. The score 66-51. Feet. Steve Albert back here with Jason Williams. And Jason, before we get to the halftime highlights, I've got to ask you a few questions about the lockout situation. First of all, what are your thoughts on the David Stern, Billy Hunter comments?
Well, first of all, Steve, let me tell you, I think David Stern is a genius. Him and Michael Jordan, and along with about 10 other players, brought this league back from the 70s and 80s, where it was going all the way downhill to the best sport in the world. But now Billy Hunter has done a great job negotiating. You know, Billy Hunter's gone in, but he's negotiating against himself because the NBA would not budge off of where they came in with the original offer at. So in a negotiation, you both have to give and take. I think what the owners are trying to do, Steve, is they're trying to put a hard cap in. So then they know their cost certainty and where that is. So then their value of every franchise will double, just like in the NFL. Remember when they got a hard cap? They came in and what happened? A year later, all the teams' value doubled. So I think that's what's going on right now. But I think the problem that the players have is that we want them to communicate every day until this thing gets over. Both of them can stand to lose a couple of pounds. Put them in a room, lock them up in a steam room. Don't let them out until they get about 98 pounds, and let's get the playing.
Well, you've described this situation, I've heard you say, nonsense. But what emotions are you feeling? Are you feeling anger, frustration, bitterness, what?
Well, I was angry in the beginning, and now I just call it nonsense because I can't understand how we can put a man who's 79 years old on the moon and we can't sit down here and get one CBA agreement together. You know, it doesn't make any sense. I think maybe David Stern has a premeditated 56-game schedule, and he's going to let us negotiate until that point. And then he knows, and he's going to get the best deal, and then he's going to go, okay, now here comes the season. You know, so I think a lot of guys, just come on, fellas. David Stern, Billy Hunter, get together, communicate. We got the best game here in the world. Where else can I make $2.5 million? Where can David Stern make $10 million? Let's start to play basketball. It's the greatest job in the world.
I don't understand 172 days how they could still be that far apart. But how do you as a player justify this to the fans? Minimum salary, $275,000. The maximum, astronomical. Guys are playing maybe 6, 7, 8 months out of the year, fulfilling a lifelong dream. What is the rationale behind this? How do you justify this to fans?
Well, it just can't be NBA players or athletes. You know, Jerry Seinfeld made $200 million last year. Society has it set up like that. Just don't be mad at a basketball player because he came out of the ghetto, he came out of somewhere else, and he maybe didn't go to college or get the degree, but he was working on his art, and that's basketball. So you can't get mad. That's the way society has it set up. No, I shouldn't be making $2 million a year. You know, doctors, school teachers, firemen, police officers, these are the guys. Try to teach a 6-year-old how to read. These are the people who should be making the money, but they have it set up like this. This is the way society has it set up. So don't get mad if a guy makes this kind of money. Get mad if he gets on the court and he doesn't perform for it.
If there's no season, what will be the repercussions of this? Will it be that far-reaching and damaging?
Oh, I don't think we can come back for another 3 or 4 years unless we get another Michael Jordan. You can foresee another Michael Jordan come in this league? Not in my lifetime. Michael Jordan is Black Jesus. You know, I can't see him coming back into this. You know, so I think right now, if we mess around and don't have a season and leave $2 billion on the table, we can never recover from this.
Race have anything to do with this?
Not at all. Only color that has something to do with this is money. And I get tired of players or owners or anybody else or the media start that stuff about race. We've been great with this stuff. There's no race involved in this. It's just about points, 57% or 50%. I got to understand where the owners are coming from, too. They put up the risk. You know, they started the business, and they want to make some money. But I can't understand why everybody don't open up the books, and we come to see where everybody can make money and everybody can have some harmony.
And quickly, your reaction to what Bob Cousy said, the man who started the Players Union. He said that this greed, this ego, has gotten out of control, and it's really damaged the game that he loves.
Oh, that's no question it does. But now, don't say it's just greed on the players' part. It's also greed on the owner's part. I think it's just not even all about greed. It's just more about power right now. You know, I think Bob Cousy did a great thing about putting this thing together down in his basement. We're thankful for Bob Cousy. But, Bob, I know where you're feeling. You want to work. We want to work. But believe me, we're locked out. We would love to go to work. We just got to come to some common ground and get some common sense and stop the nonsense.
Okay, let's take a look at the highlights from the first half right now. And let's check them out. The score, by the way, is 66-51 for the white team. Alonzo Mourning with the jump shot. Glenn Rice.
And here goes Glenn Rice from Donald Trump's suite. It's good. Donald got another blonde in there.
Oh, my goodness. And then Tim Hardaway with the three-pointer. I'll just keep sliding along here with these highlights, if you don't mind.
Karl Malone, vintage, the big fella.
With the slam. And here's one of those many no-look passes, this time to Gugliotta.
I tell you what, Tom Gugliotta, like I said before, is one of the most versatile forwards. And here goes the old man, rim shaker, my favorite dunk of all time besides Dr. J. And with another one, Dominique Wilkins, still showing he got it and showing that when all this nonsense is stopped, he wants a contract in professional basketball players.
All right, Jason, let's take a look at the halftime stats from this game. You see the shooting by the athletic team, just 35%, but the team in the lead, a hefty 54%, shooting well. Oscar Robertson's feet team, three-pointers. The red team of Charles Barkley, just 4 for 15. The other guys 3 for 7.
Well, imagine a professional basketball game where you got 66 points scored on one side, 51 on the other, and you only got 5 points and free throws on one and 7 on the other. So these guys are definitely getting some work in today. They're not getting any rest time on the free throw line.
Well, it is pretty evident, Jason Williams, that the young legs are outdoing the old legs right now.
Well, I tell you what, I think the ones who are in shape. Now, you got Dominique Wilkins, who's got old legs, but he's in shape, Steve, you know? It's the difference. It's the guys who take care of themselves. That was my problem when I first got in the league. You know, things I used to do all night, take me all night to do now, you know? So you have to pick and choose your spots, and, you know, and that's why the older guys are in better shape than the younger guys when it comes to these kind of events.
Ewing and Penny have no points. Just wanted to pass that on in the first half. Well, we have gone where cameras and microphones have seldom gone before, to the sanctity of the locker room. Let's go invade the privacy of the red locker room where Sir Charles Barkley was presiding.
We're going to pick it up in the second half. We got them very overconfident right now. We just want to lull them to sleep. We're going to make the veterans, if you look at the guys I have, they're all superstars. They're second half players.
All right.
Yeah, he's got them right where they want them.
I tell you what, would he make you want to go to war with that speech? I hope Bill Clinton didn't give that same speech when he sent them guys out, right?
What'd you say, Newt Rockney, you said?
Oh, my goodness.
Bob Hill standing by with the two coaches.
Thanks a lot, guys. Charles, now come on. Your team gave up 66 points in the first half. They weren't contesting shots.
That's all we gave up?
That's all. 66.
Hey, listen, I'm encouraged now that I know that. I knew we were getting our butts kicked, but I thought we gave up more than 66.
You were pretty casual over there. You looked nice. You filled the bill. But, you know, obviously you're going to have to play better defense.
Well, you know I'm not you always they play like I'm not a great defender. My team is playing like that.
You know, that's what Karl said in the interview before the game. Well, good luck in the second half. Oscar, on the other hand, your team shooting 60%, moving the ball, playing a lot like you did.
Well, you know, it makes a big difference when you make the baskets, and guys are making those little short jump shots. And I told them, I said, listen, if they can beat us making those three-pointers, let them go ahead.
Absolutely. I think it looks like maybe you guys cut a deal between you and Charles.
Not
we'll
quite.
Find out in the second half.
We'll find out in the second half.
Thanks, Oscar. Back to you, Steve.
All right, thanks very much, Bob. We're just about set for the second half of the game on Showtime. Charles Barkley's team athletic addict down by 15 to Oscar Robertson's just for feet. There's Chris Webber, who has hit a couple from the outside. Shawn Kemp, a little bit overweight. I'm being very kind here, Jason, but
well, you said that now. I didn't. I got to play against this guy. But hey, at this time right now, I'm sure Shawn can get down 2 or 3 weeks. He'd be down to playing weight.
This guy's always in shape. This guy's always in shape.
No, that's a bodybuilder right there.
And playing with his usual intensity, whether it's an exhibition game or a regular season game. I wanted to ask you a question, though. Would you go overseas if the situation presented itself, the opportunity?
Can you say Kinder Bologna?
I guess that means yes.
There's no question. I'm a basketball player, and I'm going to play basketball. You know, if I can't play in that league that is set up in professional basketball, there's overseas. I got to go over and do what I can do.
All right. So we're just about set for the third quarter. We want to tell you also that you can vote online for tonight's most valuable player by logging on to www.theglobe.com here in Atlantic City. Beautiful site. That's a mall. A check will be presented to the charity of the winner's choice. The result will be announced at the end of the night. That's right across the boardwalk. From here at the Boardwalk Convention Hall, you see the rows and rows of hotels and gambling casinos. Vin Baker getting ready for the second half. Once again, we'll check out how you can vote for your most valuable player online. Join us by logging on to www.theglobe.com.
Dominique Wilkins, a little upset that his sweat stopped. You know, it takes an old Caterpillar a long time to get warmed up, like an old diesel. But once they get warmed up, they run all day long.
All right, we're set for the second half. Steve Albert along with Bob Hill and Jason Williams, the leading scorers. Tim Hardaway leading the way for Team Athletic with 10. Alonzo Mourning with 15. Rice 13. Peyton 12. The balanced attack for Team Feet.
No question. Oscar was interesting at halftime. You know, he said, we're going to let them take all those threes they want. You know, we'll take the twos. I think there's a little strategy going on over there.
There's something we didn't expect much of.
Yeah, he said, let them shoot those long threes. We'll take the twos and score more points. So, you know, he's into it. He's enjoying it.
Well, it don't take much to beat up on Charles Barkley's coaching skills. Here goes the guy who goes to the 13th floor in the elevator, press 7 and 6. So,
you want to run that by me one more time? Tim Hardaway straight down the middle, 68-51. Just for feet in the white, the younger guy. Made away by Hardaway. Glenn Rice, this is Baker.
There's a chance we'll see the Red try to step it up right now, try to get themselves right back in this thing if they can. Still a lot of time left, certainly. If they start making some of those threes, they make a big difference.
Malone with the finger roll.
Karl Malone, he goes to the hoop so strong. How many people are going to take a charge on that one? Imagine you taking a charge on that one, Steve.
I don't think so. Off the prototypical power forward body. Rice with a turnaround. He gets the roll. Another banner season for Glenn Rice last year, 6th in the league in scoring, over 22 a game. Pretty pass by Tim Hardaway. Ewing had it rejected by Mourning, then Rice for a foul.
A little surprised they haven't run more pick and roll in this game. You know, they ran it early in the game. That the white team switched it. It was kind of interesting. That's one of the few pick and rolls we've seen.
Well, here goes Patrick Ewing pump faking because he ran out of gas, then goes back up again, and they brought the ball up over his head like he should be, but they put it right back down to him. You know,
Ewing 0 for 8 from the floor as he goes to the line. You recall he comes off the broken right wrist, missed 56 games last year.
You're not seeing vintage Patrick Ewing right now. You're seeing Patrick Ewing, a guy who's been putting a lot of time in with the Players Association and haven't had a lot of time to work out like he should. But I guarantee you, one of the top 50 best players in the world, he'll get in shape in time when there is a season, and he will be dominant like he always is.
Pretty jump hook by Alonzo Mourning, who has 17.
Steals by Ben Baker, blew it.
Now here's Hardaway with the high stepping dribble. Malone gets it over to Ewing. That's his spot.
There you go.
Finally hits a field goal.
33, Patrick Ewing. Bob, what is Patrick Ewing's nickname? You know, I don't think you know, you got Zoe for Alonzo. What, you know?
Patrick's nickname for years has been the Beast.
The Beast? Okay.
The Beast.
A Hoya Destroyer.
Beast.
Well, that was about 10 years ago. That's the last time Georgetown was good. Now
he got that when he came to the Knicks. When he came to New York.
Well, now it's all about St. John's and the Red Storm.
Oh, Ewing goes down.
Wow. Ernie Grunfeld just rolled over on his couch. Along with the rest of the garden.
Still on Baker.
Oh, my goodness.
Ewing was already playing with a sore foot.
Oh, man. Here he goes. Just loses his foot and tries to pump fake and go around. Hits a wet spot and goes down. Took him about 3 minutes to fall.
Well, we definitely don't need any injuries. That's first half was terrific that way.
Hardaway, but for Ewing, who's come under heavy criticism, particularly by fans and media and owners, for some of the things he has said as president of the Players Union. Ball goes out of bounds, turnover.
And a lot of those things he said, you have to, you have to take. You know, Patrick Ewing is a good guy. I'm sure he did not mean a lot of those things he said. That's the way they come out. You know, Patrick Ewing is doing a great job for our union right now. And he made some silly remarks, and he knows he has. But, you know, Patrick Ewing is playing in this game, and this is a good benefit. You got to understand, this thing's going to raise over $1 million. And not one player's getting paid here. It's all going to charity. So, you know, I think Patrick Ewing is making up for some of the remarks that didn't go over too well with the public.
Gary Payton. Flip to Hardaway. That's Penny. And Penny finally on the score sheet.
Dominique. Oh! Double man! He got a 10 for that one. Dominique Wilkins gets a 10 for that one.
Now that was vintage. Wow. He brings it down, still gets it, and still gets it in.
Here he goes with another one.
He's in double figures with 10. Nice pass to Miller. Running the floor nicely.
Now write it down. That's maybe, honestly, could be Dominique's first assist. Terrific pass.
Oh, my goodness.
74-59 for Just for Feet.
Gary Payton giving the ref a mouthful. So you don't think these guys out here trying to play. You know, I thought Charles Barkley would get their first technical, but Gary Payton is very close right now.
Then Baker hits. Nice backflip pass by Malone. Here's Wilkins.
Look at that, man. Is this guy working for a contract or what, Bob?
About 5 possessions ago defensively down here, he moved his feet and kept Glenn Rice in front of him. Just did maybe the best I've ever seen him do it.
It counts, plus the foul. Alonzo Mourning.
He's playing very well.
Alonzo Mourning's showing you what he's been doing down in Miami when he's not up here. You know, Mourning doesn't have to put in as much time as Patrick Ewing, because Patrick is the president and he has to be up here all the time. So he might be in a little better shape than Patrick Ewing right now.
Mourning a 72% career free throw shooter. Unable to complete it. Yep, 78-61 just for feet. Oscar Robertson's team. Wilkins lost the handle. Here's Glenn Rice.
Dominique thought he got fouled.
Hardaway, the trailer. Oh, Morning, and he's fouled. No, traveling.
Oh, my goodness.
A questionable call.
Another great pass, though. A lot of passing. A lot of good passing going on.
Just like we had in the first quarter, Bob.
Exactly. And sometimes when guys' legs get a little tired and they don't want to take the jump shot, it's a lot easier to make a pass. They don't want to fail, so you know that extra pass sometimes gets an easier basket.
Hey guys.
Dominique Wilkins certainly on a roll here in the third period.
You straight? Okay.
He's always on a roll. This guy just really, as we've said before, he just loves to play basketball. He's out in the open floor.
Look at this, brings it way down.
Yeah, that's his dunk right there.
And you know what's special? And you know what's oh, look at it. That's
an assist.
That might have been a mistake.
Yeah, run that back. Is that Dominique?
He might have been trying to bounce that one off the glass or something and go and catch it. But you know what makes that special, Bob, is that he was doing that dunk 15 years ago when it was unheard of.
He was getting nosebleeds then.
That's right.
Not Dominique Wilkins, who can really work the open floor. He has 12 points on 6 for 13 from the field thus far.
I'm glad to see Dominique Wilkins come back from overseas and come back where he's supposed to be and finish his career as a Hall of Famer right here in the NBA. I don't know why he ever left us, you know, Dominique Wilkins. That's right, vote online.
He's making
Dominique
a bid for that MVP, Jason. Yes, indeed. 78-61 just for feet. The team in the white uniforms. They're on top.
Free throw line about 2 minutes, bro.
In this charity event here at the Boardwalk Convention Hall.
Now, how much is it of the score is the fact this white team's a younger team?
Well, I tell you the truth, I think these guys, it doesn't really make a difference because you got look at Karl Malone. He's an older guy. And look at Dominique Wilkins. He's an older guy. You know, these guys are older.
They're down 17 points.
Yeah, but well, I tell you what.
Jason, trying to get out of this one.
Yeah, I'm trying to get out of this one because I'm an older guy.
I see you squirming. But I see the wheels turning.
I'm always with the older group
so you talked yourself right into that, didn't
you? I sure did. I sure did, Bob. I'll get you back.
Tim Hardaway off the pick by Morning, throws it away. Or by Malone. Now Morning with a long pass intended for Payton. Here's Gary Payton and a double dribble.
Double dribble by Wilkins.
Wow. Shaquille O'Neal, who will be boxing Butterbean, won't he?
Oh my goodness.
That's the best center in the league right now, and I think he's going into the fight game if it was right what I read this morning.
Miller, that's a long two for Reggie. He thought he was beyond the line. Has a few words for the official on the way back. He's got 7.
What you think about that, Bob? Butterbean, Shaquille O'Neal.
I'm not even going there.
No.
Well, we're in the right place for it. Atlantic City, here's Payton. Played closely by Hardaway. Morning's got it. Here's that matchup with Ewing. Fires from deep. Woo! Hello! Boy, he drilled it too. Morning with 21.
Yeah, he didn't say a word to him either.
No, he didn't.
Down the floor.
But he stared at him.
Yeah. He got a little smirk on his face, but didn't say a word to Patrick.
Morning a double-double, 21 and 10 rebounds.
Morning sold tickets, hot dogs, beer, and has 21 points in the game. Look at this.
Wow! Alley-oop to Rice from Payton.
Best athletes in the world right here. The #1 sport in America. Dominique Wilkins going back at Glenn Rice. Hello. And gets fouled.
Vin Baker all over Wilkins.
Now that would have been one heck of a matchup. Dominique Wilkins and Glenn Rice, maybe what, 6 years ago?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Here's a look at this break. 6'11" big forward making a good pass to the point guard. Payton. Great lob pass. Everybody's out running. That's fun. That's fun basketball. Moving the ball and running. That's what it's all about.
I don't know about you, Steve, but I'm having a great time up in there. This is a lot better than I expected. You know, I think the fans, you look around, the fans are getting into it a little bit, and they're seeing the best basketball you could possibly see at the professional level.
As Patrick Ewing departs, getting a breather. Let's see a bunch of substitutions. Tom Gugliotta is in. Chris Webber is in. Allen Houston is in for the Just for Feet team. Well, I'm having a great time too with you guys. It's just a shame that this might be the only time this happens this year. Let's hope not.
Let's hope not.
Allen Houston backing in on Hardaway. Houston looking for help, and the reach-in foul. And Hardaway doesn't like it.
And just think of the guys who couldn't make it. You know, the guys who had other obligations like Grant Hill, another great player. Shaquille O'Neal, the best center in the league. You know, you got
Scottie Pippen.
Scottie Pippen. You know, Michael Jordan. This is a great league, and we got to get it back on track. These are the greatest athletes in the world.
Marley back in. Now Vin Baker backs in on Malone for the fadeaway. Tim Hardaway looks right, flings it over to the left side to Marley, and it goes to Malone. Hardaway faking the three, quick release, turnaround, Karl Malone. Tom Gugliotta in there to spear it.
Look at that rebound.
Karl normally doesn't miss that fadeaway along that baseline.
Pretty ball movement by the team in white.
Look at Gugliotta. Wow. Gugliotta's hustling today, isn't he? He's picking it up every quarter. He's getting better and better, like his career.
And it leads to a field goal by Houston. That hard work by Gugliotta. Long pass down to Kemp.
I tell you what, even though they're getting the ball out court quickly, you know, and guys are still getting back, and guys are still trying to block the shot, so it ain't like guys just got open layups. Guys aren't playing defense here today.
Red's got to start playing better defense, or they're not going to get back in this game.
Just for feet, up by 19 now, Bob. Here's Tom Gugliotta.
Cash short.
Wide open, couldn't connect. Almost got it back. Here's Hardaway spinning into the front court. 1-on-2. He's going to challenge Houston, and Kemp there for the follow, but couldn't hit. Penny Hardaway behind to Gugliotta.
Going back the other way.
Oh, we just go back and forth.
I'm sweating already.
Hardaway gets the roll finally.
I'm glad I am sitting over here with you two old fellas.
Allen Houston now. Well, they're going to have to get the resuscitator, a little oxygen here. Ball out of bounds to just for feet in the white. And fatigue once again setting in. You can see it all over the place with Gugliotta, Hardaway. They're moving slow right now.
Well, let's hear what Charles Barkley has to say. I'm sure it'd be something about oxygen or picking it up or what have you.
Let's go over to Andrea Joyce right now, who's standing by with Dikembe Mutombo. Andrea?
All right, thanks, guys. Three-time Defensive Player of the Year. As you watch these guys play out here, are you hungry for some competition?
Yes, and I wish I could be there on the floor with them, but when the announcement came, I was just not prepared just to come and join them. And I thought maybe they were just going to use the guys who play from Dream 1 and Dream 2. And by the end of the week, David asked me if I would play. I said, oh, it was too late.
Vice President in the union, has this whole thing gotten too emotional for anybody to make any more progress?
I don't think it got really too emotional. I think we just been in a position where we just looking for a fair deal. And that's something that we've been crying for. But the thing is not happening for us. So we're just holding up as long as it can.
You're down in Atlanta, which does not have a huge basketball tradition and not a huge fan support. How concerned are you that after all of this, you'll lose any support you already did have?
My belief has been that our fans will come back. As I've got a chance to talk to a few people at the league last week, I told them that after this thing is over, we all got a lot of garbage to pick up on the street. And it's going to take each one of us to contribute and to go up on the street and pick up those garbage. It's not going to be easy to clean up the street. We have to do that in the both sides, the union side and the league side, to bring our fans back.
A lot of work to do, no matter what happens.
All
right. Thanks so much, Dikembe. Back to you, Steve.
All right, thank you very much, Andrea Joyce. Well, if you are thinking about the longest major league work stoppages, here's an interesting list for you. How about baseball? Look how many games have been lost due to work stoppages. And now basketball, 330 and counting. No settlement in sight. I got to ask you a question, Jason. If the lockout ends, are you ready to play 3 straight nights, 5 games a week?
No.
That was Bob Hill, by the way.
Well, me and Kerry Kittles and Keith Van Horn are working out every day. I'm in good shape. You know, that's going to be a strenuous season, you know, playing that many nights. But hey, like Dikembe Mutombo says, we have to do whatever it takes. You know, you don't know how much you miss your water till your well runs dry. And I would do anything, I mean anything, to get professional basketball back to where it should be. So we got to play 5 nights a week, so bring it.
Also, if the lockout ends, training camps would be very short, and that could lead to an increase in injuries.
Oh, no question. You know, I'm surprised here how good a shape my colleagues are in here today. But, you know, we're both keeping our fingers crossed that nobody gets hurt here. But, you know, this is not a game where you're going to be playing 3 or 4 nights in a row. These guys will play this, and they'll be sore for the next 2 or 3 nights. Imagine having to do this again tomorrow. You agree with that, Bob?
There's no doubt about it, and I think we should all pass that, cross that bridge when we get to it.
Karl Malone.
So the Reds going to have to pick the pace up here a little bit, Jason, in order to get themselves solidified back into this game. It's 14. We're kind of creeping a little bit.
3:50 left in the third.
You know, maybe they'll have enough energy in the fourth quarter, maybe in the last 4 or 5 minutes to get back in it and really make it interesting.
Weber with 9 off that hoop.
Send them some Geritol for the old guys over there in the red.
It's only 13. There's 3:40 left.
Hard to think of Shawn Kemp, who broke in at 19 as an old guy. He's been around so long, and yet he's still in his 20s.
And still has a lot left. Just signed a big deal. You know, he's one of the guys I hate to play against. He can kill you from any which side. You know, he can block shots, he can rebound, he can hit the little jumper now, and forget about it. He will dunk on your neck.
Yes,
yes, he will.
After 8 years with Seattle and that huge 3-way trade with Milwaukee and Cleveland, Seattle got Vin Baker, Terrell Brandon, Tyrone Hill to Milwaukee, and Kemp to Cleveland. 88-71 just for feet. Oscar Robertson's team beating Charles Barkley's athletic attitude.
Well, the referee's starting to get into it a little bit. I think they're tired. Especially to this little guy over here. Looks like Ross Perot. Oh. He's breathing pretty hard.
Well, I'll tell you, you're bad. You're bad. That's so easy to sit here and make fun of him. I'm going to tell him after the game what you said.
You know what? These are the same guys, Bob, and you know because you've been at our camp over in New Jersey that we have refereeing our scrimmage games at camp.
These are USBL officials. Atlantic City, the home of the USBL Seagulls. Here's Reggie Miller.
Wow, man, oh man. He backed up because he was too close. Pump fake, backed up again, and hit one over a guy who's 6'8" and can jump out of the gym. Reggie Miller.
That's his shot. And that's what he does.
That's his second three-pointer.
So you don't want to get so excited about it because that's like you getting a great rebound. That's what he gets paid for.
But Bob, I'm glad I don't have to check him out there. I'm glad I play for big, slow guys every night.
Oh, Penny Hardaway wanted to be on his own after the steal, but instead the foul, number 3 on Baker.
I would like to see that if Penny got that breakaway. You know, Penny is one of the highest jumping guys. I know he would have excited this crowd. You had to let that one go, referee.
No, that's just force.
That was a showtime.
I got you.
Penny voted by the fans to the All-Star game. That didn't sit well with Tim Hardaway last year because Penny only played 19. That one's rattled in for 3 by Marley. Back to 12.
There you go.
They're sneaking back in it. 2 threes in a row. They need stops is what they need.
They must have had some Viagra over there.
They got some.
We won't even go there.
They're starting to get up and down the court.
Here's a traveling violation. You notice how we just continue with the play-by-play with Jason?
You know, Jason, you've done a great job up to this point. You got to relax a little bit.
You got to loosen up some more, Jason. You know,
I'm like
too uptight.
I'm like a true Gotti now after a fight. I'm getting punchy.
Look at the red bench jump up and react to that play. Now they're starting to get in this game.
Yes, they are. They're only down by 12 after being down close to 20. 88-76. 2:15 left in the third.
Charles actually got up.
Sure.
Not that time.
If this thing gets any closer, Charlie will get a technical foul.
Here's Gugliotta on the wing. Pulls up. Got it. That quiets things down for Charles Barkley's side for the moment. 11 for Googs.
Reggie Miller playing the point. That's a little different.
Just for feet up by 14. Miller for 3. Oh, he thought he was fouled by Houston, and Houston is Terry Pickett.
Oh, my goodness. But you know what? Reggie Miller does that deliberately all the time. He goes up for a jump shot, and it looks like he gets fouled. He kicks his opponent and act like they hit his leg, and he falls back down. But he does, you know, that's vintage Reggie Miller.
Are you trying to say something about Reggie Miller? Here comes Penny.
Well, look at this.
Oh, beautiful touch pass by Chris Webber. Gugliotta on the receiving
Love it,
end.
love it.
That's what it's all about there. Moving the ball, getting easy baskets, reacting off your defense. There's a three. Nope.
Not from that guy. Not tonight.
Gugliotta traded for Chris Webber between Washington and Golden State, ironically. Again, if you want to check in and vote for the most valuable player in this game, online, www.theglobe.com. Vote online for the game MVP. Alonzo Mourning a candidate. Dominique Wilkins a candidate. Shawn Kemp at the foul line.
Shawn getting out a good sweat out here today. You know, if anything can come out besides helping all these kids at a charity event, these guys get a good workout tonight, don't they? They can see, they go back right now, Bob, and they gauge themselves. When they go back to their trainers, they say, look, this is what kind of shape I am, this is how I felt, and then they go back and they start working on their basketball skills to see what they have to work on. Because you don't really know when you're out of shape. You know, and until you come into a game like this, the first game of the season, and somebody moved the basket, or Donald Trump opened up that big door out there, and that, oh my goodness, come on, Shawn. My man. Oh,
Gary Payton made a big point of that this morning, though, is how this was going to be a great run. He's going to get 48 minutes in, and he felt he needed it at this point. So they talked about it. More of them talked about it this morning than you realize.
Wow, look at that give and go. Just like you said, Bob, we haven't seen a lot of pick and rolls today.
There's not. They're just playing pure basketball, trying to play together, and I think for the most part done a good job. That play right there was one 6'10" guy throwing a pass and cutting to another 6'10" guy, and showing their skills, their ability to play.
Karl Malone with the left hand.
That was nice. You don't know how hard that was, jumping off the wrong foot and dunking with the left hand.
There's your time remaining in the third quarter. Just for feet in charge by 16. Their biggest lead, 21. Houston backs it on Miller. And Houston draws the foul.
Like you said, Bob, it is surprising that they're not running pick and rolls, because that is an NBA like cliche. You know, guys go out there and they love to run it because the guy who sets the pick usually gets the ball.
Kemp with 4 as Houston hits the line.
But, you know, you speak to any of these young coaches who just came into the league or stuff, they think they invented that stuff.
Yeah.
Right? That's been going on way back when you had to stop and get the ladder to take the ball back at the peach basket.
Here's a guy who had his left knee scoped during the off season, and he's had problems with injuries the last couple of years. Allen Houston. These guys have been insured for $20 million, just in case you were wondering, for this game.
How much has Julia Roberts got her legs insured for?
Wiseman for 3. Just for feet by 15. We approach the final 20 seconds of the third quarter. And Gary Payton.
Here might go a pick and roll. Here we go. They're going to let the clock wind down. Uh-oh. There goes the pick and roll.
3-second differential.
Back to Allen Houston. Look at this play.
Beautiful goal, but Houston can't finish. 2 seconds. Webber at the buzzer. Chris Webber.
The big fella.
Emphatically.
Back to 17. I thought Red was trying to make a definite effort there, but they just couldn't get over the hump.
That was a killer for Charles Barkley's athletic addict glove. Chris Webber with a buzzer beater slam dunk.
Well, the white team, the way they started out so fast, so quickly. You know that old saying, you know, a dog that goes to the bathroom fast don't go to the bathroom for long.
Wait a minute, I want to write that one down.
So I thought the red team was starting to catch up. But hey, we got 12 more minutes of basketball. You know, and Bob's betting on the old guys. I wonder why.
Well, let's take a look at some of those old guys trying to get back into this game. Bob Hill.
Let's take a look at what Reggie Miller is capable of doing. This is why he is what he is. His ability to shoot the 3. Actually steps back here. He did step on the line. That was a long 2. Normally he has a feel and doesn't step on the line. Here's another opportunity where Reggie beats his man off the dribble. Finds Marley for the 3. Dan Marley, always known for his ability to shoot the 3. So they were making an effort to get themselves back in the game. But White just kept coming back. You know, they kept pressure on him. And here comes Penny Hardaway down the middle of the floor. He's got Chris Webber, and he's got Tom Gugliotta. Webber makes a great pass. You're talking about 2 6'10" guys there. So that's pretty special.
Well, these guys are hustling up just to finish the quarter up. You know, Chris Webber with a nice steal, and then with a Showtime dunk. Look at that. Getting up.
Right on time. That one hurt.
Chris Webber's in good shape.
I think they all look in pretty good shape, really. I was concerned when I saw Shawn Kemp this morning physically, but he's been able to stay in the game and stay pretty active. I think he's got some work to do, certainly, but overall, I think they're all in pretty good shape.
Well, if the season ever does begin, he'll start it off in Sacramento, involved in that big Mitch Richmond trade. Let's take one more look at how close Webber's dunk was to the clock.
Shawn should have tried to pass that ahead.
Clock in the lower right-hand corner. Just made it.
He made it. That's why we don't have instant replay in professional basketball.
Really, he made that easy. Really, I mean, that was
a couple of tenths left.
Yeah.
Webber 11 points and 3 rebounds. So he's content over there on the bench as we get ready to begin the fourth quarter. Here's a game summary to this point. Alonzo Mourning with 21 points and 10 rebounds. Tim Hardaway with 14. You see Wilkins and Malone and the Athletic team leading the way in fast break points. And that is the older team, but they are down 98-81.
Well, here we go. We got another quarter.
If the red team is to get into this, they're going to have to make some hay, as they say right now, for the first 6 or 7 minutes. I'm just not sure they got it in them, but we'll see. Tim Hardaway's going to have to pick the pace of it up, come out, maybe run some pick and rolls, get some threes, get some movement going, and they're going to have to score some points off the defense.
The team in red, Athletic Attic, coached by Charles Barkley. The team in white, Just for Feet, coached by Hall of Famer Oscar Robertson.
Yes, right.
Here's Dan Marley now with a pick from Ewing.
Here
it comes again.
Showtime.
Chris Webber.
And leaves his fingerprints.
Here's another steal.
On the backboard. We might have another one. Showtime.
Glenn Rice for 3. And Gugliotta keeps it alive. Back to Rice.
2 for $1.
It's pretty obvious White has the energy here to open the fourth quarter.
Quick release by Malone. And he drills it.
Bob, do you agree Karl Malone might be the best power forward to ever play the game?
I think you can, there's definitely an argument for that. I think he's, at this point, certainly earned dialogue in that regard. At least he's a great player.
He has probably improved as well as any superstar.
And the one thing about Karl Malone, he never gets hurt. Never gets hurt. You know, so he gives you your money worth. He's going to give you 82 games every season.
He can go hard to the hoop and shoot from the outside. And he knows how to get to the foul line. Perennial league leader every year. Marley, 3-point range, gets it down lower.
Oh, you should take advantage of Webber.
Ewing.
Webber's too small down there for Ewing.
Goes for Kemp, yep. Plus the foul.
Number 24.
Quickly out of the foul.
Here comes Chris Webber. A little reverse dunk, and then adds a little mustard to it. You know, all you young guys gotta celebrate. You know, it's got to be a part of the deal.
I'm glad you're still calling me a young fella. I appreciate that, especially the contract you're about.
Taking off the screen from Rice. And here is Tim Hardaway.
How old are you? 41?
21.
Hardaway takes the scenic route for the scoop shot. A 9-0 run out of nowhere by the red team, Athletic Attic, and it's a 10-point game.
Oscar Robertson is off the bench. Look at Goose.
He's hustling, but couldn't sidestep the sideline. Little tightrope walk there, and Oscar is up.
So's Charles. They were both up. Game gets a little close. They both get involved.
Charles was ordering the drink, though.
Charles looks good over there with his suit on tonight.
Plenty of time left for the red team if they have the legs. This is an endurance test. Here's Kemp, and he's fouled from behind. Glenn Rice canvassing him.
Got a chance to get it to 8 here. Here's some terrific defense. Shawn does a good job getting his hands up. You know, if players just get their hands up, good things happen once in a while. You know, Jason, why don't you do that when you play? Well, get your hands up, deflect the ball, get it out in the open court, get it to Sammy, get some dunks, get some enthusiasm. That's what Shawn did there. And
I bring none of those things, Bob.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Kemp with a double-double, 14 points and 10 rebounds, an 11-0 run, 11 unanswered points for Athletic Attic in red, and it's an 8-point game.
What did I tell Bob about those young guys, Steve? You go to the bathroom fast, you don't go for long.
Well, let's see what comes of this game. Rice with the miss. Here's the red team again. And here's Hardaway.
Got a chance to get it to 6.
Hardaway for 5.
Tim Hardaway, baby. Patrick Ewing. Look for them to start going to Patrick Ewing down on the post now, too. He's calling for the ball.
It is a 5-point ball game, down from 21.
Get it out of here. And Shawn Kemp talking stuff to Chris Webber.
Hardaway over to Marley. Pulls up for 3.
Oh, my goodness.
What a comeback. A 7-0 run.
You better get a TO, baby.
It is a 2-point ball game. Major comeback by Patrick Ewing's red team, the Athletic Attic.
Oscar said at halftime, we're going to let him shoot those threes when out.
Wow. We have got ourselves a ball game.
Now, this is professional basketball.
Woo! Give me all the time. Hey, way to work, guys.
Big-time three-point clutch shooter Tim Hardaway coming through to close the gap.
Well, they got some guys on that team that can shoot the 3, and it was a matter of time when they finally started to make some. And this is what he does. He gets it started. There's a splash from 3, and it just gets your juices going here. Watch the bench. Even Charles reacts.
That's right.
Yeah. Now they can see it now in sight. Maybe they got a shot.
Now we're going to have a game here.
Yep.
Way to come to life.
Wow, this is great.
Still 9 minutes to play.
You should though. You rested for 3 quarters. Thank you. Thank you, Charles. You should be full of energy. Thank you, Daddy. You've been off for 6 months and 3 quarters.
Now that's coaching.
Can you see Charles Barkley?
Is it Easter, man? We see a lot of nice dressed people around here.
Coaching when this is over, Bob? Barkley for president. We're looking for one of those right now.
That's what I told him this morning. Should I call you Coach B now? He said, no, I'm too smart to coach. And I said, well, should I call you Governor B then? And he just kind of got that smirk on his face and let that go. So,
come on, guys. Way to go.
Again, we invite you to vote online for the MVP. The way things are going right now, who knows? All of a sudden, Tim Hardaway in the hunt.
If Charles Barkley was our president, that sign is indicated up there, Charles Barkley for president. Imagine how much bombing we have to do. Oh, my God, we'd be at war for the rest of the season.
Under the present circumstances, I'm not going there either.
Well, Barkley with political aspirations. Governor Alabama?
Well, when I had a job, I was a Republican when I had a check coming in. I had to go back to Democrats.
Well, Jesse the Body made it.
That's right.
Here's Peyton for 3. And Tim Hardaway now with 19 points and 12 assists, second in the second half. Able to keep it for the red team.
Had to jump over the scores table to stop from getting hurt right
Good
there.
hustle.
Got a chance for a tie. Go ahead with a 3.
Here we go. After being down 21, the Just for Feet team has missed their last 8 shots. Here comes Hardaway.
He needs to start running some middle pick and roll. He is a handful. Middle pick and roll.
Here they're going into Ewing.
Patrick Ewing.
Now you see the, oh my goodness.
Turns it over. Here comes Peyton leading the attack. The stutter step. Can't split the defense. Marley wants a jump ball. It's a foul. And maybe Hardaway. Yes, indeed.
Patrick Ewing looking for the foul out. Wow, took his lunch.
I think probably he did get fouled, but he shouldn't have put it down in between his legs.
That's true. 2 Georgetown Hoyles. Like we said before, these guys know how all each other's moves, so it's difficult for them to play against each other. Patrick still complaining.
Athletic Attic last led 8-7 with 8:15 left in the first quarter. They're down 2 after being down by as much as 21. 1 out of 2 from the line by Peyton. What Kemp come over and say?
Kemp came over to me and said, I hope for goodness you didn't talk about that airport from the free throw line. I know it's a Showtime. I wanted them to go to commercial.
actually you didn't. You couldn't stop from laughing. And it's all tied up. 101. What a comeback by Athletic Attic. A 20-1 run by Athletic Attic in red.
And I'll tell you what, it's starting to heat up here. You see Karl Malone just saying some words with Ben Rice, and before when Shawn Kemp blocked Chris Webber's shot, he let him know he blocked it also. So we started to get some egos going over here. Tim Hardaway pointing over to the other bench.
There's his spot. There's Tim Hardaway's spot. Game is close to being in a crunch time, and he's a crunch time player.
So Tim Hardaway now has 22, some huge three-pointers, plus 12 assists. Rice missing the first, an 84% career foul shooter. And Tim Hardaway almost single-handedly leading Athletic Attic back in.
The referee's going to have to pick it up now also. It's going to have to be a lot more serious games. If not, they're going to get an earful from these guys. These guys both want to win. Both teams are going at each other right now. You feel the intensity now, Bob?
Yep.
Showtime, baby.
Just for feet, up by 1. Hardaway up the ladder, doesn't get the roll. Battle for the loose ball. Malone. Hardaway checks the line. Waits for Brody to go by. Can't.
And Patrick Ewing got away with a push there. And we can get that. That's vintage Dennis Rodman right there. You made that guy crazy, didn't you, Bob?
On Hardaway. Penny, that is.
Well, only veterans get away with this move. If we get this tape, I'll show it to you. Patrick Ewing just pushed him in the back to get the offensive rebound.
Well, sometimes guys like Patrick deserve that. They paid their due.
Athletic Attic looking for the lead. Hardaway dishes it off. This is Ewing. In and out. Goodness. Halfway down.
There you go. Yes.
And they're calling it on Baker.
Yeah. Hey, good call.
Vince Baker with his 4th foul.
And he doesn't like it. But have you ever seen an NBA player agree that they fouled?
Not in this century.
Here's that Ewing play you talked about.
Tim Hardaway from the corner.
There's an attempted three. It's going to be a long rebound.
Pushes him off. And it doesn't take much, Bob, to push a guy off of balance when a guy's right about to take off in the flank.
Yeah, but as you know, it's really easy to flop in those situations, too.
That's right.
Just for feet, up by 1 with 7:30 to go. A 20-2 run by Athletic Attic. Hardaway with 8 during that stretch, and Kemp nails the first. 6-time All-Star Shawn Kemp, 6'10". He ties it for the lead. He's got it.
Shawn Kemp makes them both. Redeems himself.
Athletic Attic in the lead for the first time since 8:15 remaining in the first quarter when it was 8-7.
And that's something we haven't seen in a long time, Bob. Penny Hardaway posting up, taking advantage of those little guards at his 6'8" frame.
It's good to see him back out on the floor, and hopefully his injury problems will be behind him, and he can move forward now with his career. He's a multi-talented player, a great guy, and you know, certainly deserves some success.
Foul number 2 on Dan Miley. The team in white has missed their last 8 shots just for feet. They're stripped by Kemp, and a whistle and a foul.
Alonzo Mourning.
Yep.
Letting them know we're on Showtime with his choice of words.
Got that scout going, huh?
Yeah. Letting them know he wanted to take off so bad from there. But like I said before, they haven't called one illegal defense, and everybody's in the paint.
Well, they're not going to call those.
No, if he could just get 1 half more step, he would have dunked that ball on everybody involved.
Number 3 on Ewing. That is a mid-season scowl by Alonzo Mourning. You wouldn't know this is the first and perhaps only game of the season. Here's Gary Payton.
Here's some pick and roll.
Over to Rice. The pick from Mourning.
Good rebound.
That was a good play. That's a tough cover. They just ran a pick and roll into a pick-the-picker, and the shooter's wide open.
Ewing picks up rebound number 11. Athletic Attic by 1. after trailing throughout most of this ball game, and they foul down low. Just for feet led by 17 after 3.
I think Alonzo Mourning gets up in the morning looking like this. I mean, he's always got
if
this
it's coffee and eggs ain't on the table,
yeah,
I imagine.
That's just his nature. I mean, he's always been a warrior in his own right, and certainly tonight he's playing with that same attitude that he does during the regular season.
Vin Baker just picked up his 5th personal foul.
Vin Baker allowed Shawn Kemp to jam him underneath the basket. He asked for that. And Shawn's been there too many times to make good things happen.
And Shawn gets off the floor so quickly.
Not quite as quickly right now as he's capable of maybe in another month as he keeps it working out. But he's played, I tell you what, when he first walked on the floor the other day, I thought, boy, this is going to be a struggle for him, but he's done a nice job.
18 points.
No doubt. I mean, he really has.
Might be the MVP.
Yeah.
My MVP right now. I went with Glenn Rice also.
Boy, we're switching by the second here now.
That's right.
Karl Malone goes up high for that one. 105 to 102.
Look for a play between Tim Hardaway and Karl Malone right now. Maybe a pick and roll in the corner. Here we go.
Just Graffita's missed his last 10 shots.
That's
Marley. Boy, the whole bench was up waiting for that one to go down. Here's Gary Payton on the wing to Hardaway. Penny Hardaway stopped by Ewing.
goodness.
And here's Payton with a flip. And it's put back in by Baker.
Might have been a little offensive goaltending there.
Pat Williams held his breath down in Orlando with that last play. Holy cow.
Athletic Attic up by 1.
Boy, the Penny Hardaway taking over. Oh, my goodness. Oh, well, we can see that he's healthy again.
Uh-oh. Yeah, Penny with a lot of courage. Here's Mourning now on the rebound.
Penny was just trying to get to the foul line there. Patrick's rotation was good. He was on time.
Well, that's using your head. Payton right off the noggin of Vin Baker.
You know when Tim Hardaway is about to shoot, Steve, as soon as he stops and looks at his sneakers and look where the line is, he's going to shoot the ball every time. Every single time. So if he puts his head down, you better meet him at the top, which is good.
Well, I'll tell you what. We all thought that conditioning would be a factor going into this game, but we didn't think it would be the older team, Athletic Attic, that would come on strong in the fourth quarter.
And that's why I was at a loss for words before, because I knew that the older legs would prevail.
No. That's never happened. Nor will it ever. Now, let's not forget the score at halftime was 66 to 51.
Tim Hardaway makes one. And today is Saturday. I know the bank is closed.
25 points for Hardaway.
Sticks his tongue out at him. Oh, my goodness. And now it's time to get a rough down in there with Ewing and Alonzo Mourning. I think Ewing just hit him in the mouth.
I wonder if he called this. I bet ahead of time he called that bank.
But look at the tongue.
That's a tough shot.
Look at it. They didn't let it roll, but he stuck his tongue out over it.
He's 5 for 12 from three-point range. Tim Hardaway. What a job he has done, particularly here in the second half, to bring his Athletic Attic team back into this ballgame.
Now, Steve, I don't mean to say that I told you so, but when this whole thing started,
but you will.
Bob has no problem with that one.
This guy is a handful now. I'm
Tim Hardaway making the bid for the MVP. The donation going to the charity of his choice. Here's Hardaway again, looking for another. Oh, goodness.
Did you see him check his feet? Did you see him check his feet? Holy cow.
His 6th 3 out of 13 attempts. He's got 14 this quarter. 14 points.
Them guys out of Miami are heating up right now.
Boy, I tell you.
Boy, they're going end to end now, and Athletic Attic up by 3 with 4.5 minutes remaining.
I think they go inside the Patrick Ewing right around now.
Tremendous finish here.
Right into Patrick Posey.
Riley off the goal for 3. This 3-point extravaganza.
This is why these are the greatest athletes in the world right now.
Well, you think it takes athletic ability to shoot?
No question. you guys keep using that on the golf course. You got to be an athlete to play golf. I never heard that one.
Tim Hardaway putting on a show here on Showtime, and his team out to its largest lead, 114 to 108. Athletic Attic over Just for Feet with 409.
Y'all from the beginning.
This could be interesting. Charles Barkley.
We're gonna let you go down without that. Y'all lucky to have me. We were over water. I couldn't jump off. Yeah, boy. Come on, man. 4 minutes. We got 4 minutes, bro. 4 minutes. Hold on tight. Hold on tight. I know you niggas hold on. We just talk on that. Let me know if you're back. I gotta get back. Yeah, let me know. Huh? You in? Okay. Nigga, you got red hot. You can't come up. You got red hot. I got Glenn. I got Glenn.
And meanwhile, it's a lot quieter over on the Big O side.
They want to start. They want to start going.
I think they're in shock.
When he was inside. Don't never count them old guys out. Let's go. Charles Barkley once told me, you know, here goes a guy who never sleeps. He only needs about 3 hours of sleep a night, Steve. And he told me once, he says, you know what? I'll sleep when I die. That way nobody will wake me up. I said, wow. That guy right there has energy all the time.
Come on, man. Y'all making me a winner in my coaching debut. If we win, dog, we did it on our own. Hey, I'm gonna give y'all the credit. Y'all know how this game
with
works.
a PS.
But I want to be 1-0. And I hope this is the last time we have to have one of these games. Hope they start paying y'all soon.
Let's take a look at this guy, Tim Hardaway, the total package at a point guard. That's the thing that makes him so difficult to play, the ability to make that three. If you close out on this three, he's right by you. He finds teammates for three, and the big guys for dunks. I mean, it's a part of his game that has really allowed him to separate himself. Here he searches for the three-point line, and again, splashes again. I mean, he's just, it comes crunch time, and the little guy just steps up. Being traded from one team to another certainly has inspired him. Because we're all really seeing what the guy's capable of doing now, and it's really special.
He's the high man of the game with 28 points and 12 assists. Tim Hardaway.
You know, he's 6 foot tall. You know, he's not that big, but he's strong.
As we break it down for you, Alonzo Mourning, 25 points, 12 rebounds. You see the shooting. Boy, it's been a struggle for Just for Feet here in the second half. 3 for 14, 8 for 11 on the red side. Athletic Attic here in the fourth. Richmond was funny. If we win this game, it'll be us, not you, Charles. Here's Rice.
You notice who they went at, don't you? Right at me. He didn't ask for any help either. He took it all on by himself. And you know Neek wants it right back.
Oh, yeah. He's going to go right back at him. He got the jumpsuit against the workhorse right there.
He was a big factor in the first half. Dominique Wilkins, who played in Italy last year. Hardaway wants it. That time a little bit of a force. And it comes to paper. 3.5 to go. A 4-point game. Mourning can't hit. And a bounds to Athletic Attic.
Mourning taking it strong. Finger roll just got away from him. Hands a little wet, slipped right off the fingertips.
All they got to do here is run a middle pick and roll with Tim Hardaway and Malone. Here we go. Here we go. They'll get a good shot.
There's the crossover. Hardaway. No look corner. Miller for three.
That woke up the people here in Atlantic City.
The killer crossover by Tim Hardaway. He's patented that move.
You have to be paying attention to see it, though. It's that blur.
That's right.
It's a blur.
But see how tough Gary Payton is? He goes right back at Tim Hardaway.
Then Baker connects. Baker's got 16, and it's 114-112.
This is going to be interesting right here with these 2 point guards. You got the best defensive point guard who just got crossed over and who was very angry.
Athletic Attic by 2. Penny Hardaway going for the steal. Dominique finds Malone. Karl Malone with the left-hander, and he draws the foul. And look at Mourning's reaction.
That's the second assist in Dominique's career. Well, it was a great pass. I mean, he ran pick and roll with him, and Neek makes a terrific pass. I don't know that this might also be the first time Dominique plays pick and roll with the ball. But he comes off and reads the defense, makes a good pass, gets Karl Malone to the foul line.
Dominique is showing his entire repertoire here.
The guy just loves to play basketball. What can you say? I mean, you know, he'll play until someone tells him he can't.
Well, he can play in New Jersey if he likes.
Karl Malone. And it is now 116-112. Athletic Addict, the team in red, with 2.5 and counting in the fourth. Broken up by Wilkins.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh, look at Alonzo Mourning. What a play.
Now, folks, that's play-by-play.
Wow. Please start basketball.
That was a big basket. It's back to 6 with 2 minutes to play now.
My goodness. Is Alonzo Mourning just being ferocious on the defensive end? I have never seen that in a charity game in my life, or a benefit game. A guy just go up, and try to block every shot.
Well, let's take a look at it.
Charge number 10, Tim Hardaway.
So most people, Bob, let this one go, especially with Dominique Wilkins coming at you.
Right.
But not Alonzo Mourning. Here goes Alonzo, goes straight up with him one time, goes up with Patrick twice, fighting for the rebound, goes up with him for the third time. Wow.
And Ewing hurt his right hand in the process.
And Dave Checkers is on the phone right now.
Yes, indeed. Played in only 26 games, came back in the playoffs last year after the broken wrist and was very rusty, shot only 36%. Len Rice making it a 4-point ball game.
Even though both these teams want to win right now, you got to be careful that these guys are going so hard at each other and their bodies are not used to this at this point of this point of the year for them not playing. I was about to say season, but of course we don't have one of those right now. That somebody can easily get hurt.
All right, here we go. 150, 4-point game.
A dramatic finish. Beautiful pass down low to Miller from Hardaway. The jump hook by Dominique Wilkins. Here comes Payton. Penny Hardaway against Tim Hardaway. Flips it up. The dipsy-do won't go. Loose ball comes out. Whistle and a foul.
Do you feel the intensity? Oh, man, I love it.
As they say.
And Alonzo Mourning blocked another shot down on the other end, Bob.
He wants to win, there's no question. He's after it.
5 on 5 blocked shots for Mourning.
I tell you what, Showtime and the people might have thought that this wasn't going to be an event of defense and guys are just going to come down here and run up and down and it wasn't going to be exciting. You know, Showtime proved everybody wrong. This is a very exciting basketball game here today.
Karl Malone 2 for 2 from the line.
You got to give the old guys a lot of credit. They hung in there and picked their spots and got themselves back in the game.
They got
in a position to win now.
They have a great coach.
Yeah, did you hear what he said?
I heard, but I didn't pay any attention.
Oh, okay.
He's buying after the game, so.
If we win, I'm taking the credit. If we lose, it was a player's fault.
He's buying the beverage of our choice after the game, so we got to stop giving him some credit.
I hope you like Yoo-hoo. Penny Hardaway from 3. And it is a 3-point ball game with Athletic Addict in front. Minute 24 to go.
Oscar Robertson calls timeout. He want to look things over.
Hey, good shot, baby. A timeout on the floor. The high drama continues. I think it's a 20.
Stay up on him.
A 20-second timeout. Well, this could come down to who's got the legs in the final minute and a half.
He's got 4 3-point shooters. Chop the ball.
Well,
get the hands up.
it is holiday season, and these guys have had plenty of time, of course, during the lockout to make some Christmas wishes. They did it at the shoot-around earlier today, and let's take a look and listen to what they had to say.
No, not on the...
Some good things have come out of the lockout situation, and the fact I get to go home and spend time with my mother and be at my house that I haven't been there since high school for Christmas time. So that's going to be very special, and we're going to have family down. So if anything positive comes out of this, that is definitely one of them for me.
My Christmas wish probably out of the whole thing is for me to be a better person as a whole. Not that the lockout would end, not any of that. Just that to be a better person, as a whole and be a better father and husband. That's my only Christmas wish, and everybody be healthy.
Just my parents have a good time. I'm going to spend it with my folks, and just that we have a blessed day. They're going to be down here tonight, and I'm going to go back and have Christmas with them in Connecticut. So that's all I hope for is a nice Christmas with my parents.
Oh, God, my Christmas wish. I'll give back every Christmas gift I ever got just so we can start the season. I just want a collective bargaining agreement.
And Charles Barkley, his red team, Athletic Attic, has outscored Just for Feet and White 39-19 in the fourth quarter. They lead by 3. We approach the final minute. Tim Hardaway in three-point range. Oh, he's done it again.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Another 3 for Tim Hardaway. That's his 6th in the ball game. And he is on his way to an MVP.
Here goes a guy who's been cold the whole first half. Didn't look like he was interested in the ball game as much. As soon as it comes down to the wire, he's been doing it the whole career. Comes in the fourth quarter, just takes it over, right, Bob?
He's done that many times, and you know, I hate to give Charles Barkley credit, but he said at halftime, he said, we're just trying to lull him to sleep. We're going to get into the game in the second half. We're going to win the game. And he was right. But this guy with the ball has a
little Marcus Haynes move here by Tim Hardaway at the low dribble.
No, it's not Marcus Haynes. It's Tim Hardaway.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I thought it was Curly Neal.
I told you yesterday we broke this game down who would come in here and dominate it.
And you said Hardaway would do it. 31 points, 13 assists. You notice how he brings that up, Jason?
That's only twice.
Oh, okay.
we got 28 seconds left.
You didn't know Einstein was to the right of me? MC squared, E equals MC squared here.
Tim Hardaway now with 32 points, 13 assists, 6 three-pointers, 28 seconds to go, and give him 33 points, and his team up by 8, 125-117. Gary Payton.
Can we put on the Frank Gifford? Can we start singing Turn Off the Lights in? like Monday Night Football? I mean, Don Meredith.
Dandy Don, you meant. Richmond over to Malone with time running down. 15 seconds. Reggie Miller takes a look. He checks the clock.
Shoot it.
Here's Richmond. And there is your ball game.
Great game.
There's history.
Great game.
The question is, will it be the only game? That remains to be seen. A crowd of 9,500 on hand. They seat 12,500. And Tim Hardaway, your most valuable player, no surprise after that second half, that sizzler, wound up unofficially with 33 points, 13 assists, 6 three-pointers. Most of that damage coming in the second half to lead his red Athletic Attic team from 21 points down to victory. His team outscoring Just for Feet 44-21 in the fourth quarter, and the red wins it 125-119. What a comeback, and things a lot more dramatic, I think, than we anticipated.
No doubt about it.